TikTok time to rock. Hey, what the heck? That was weird.
What's up?
It just said, "Do you want?" I've never seen that before. It just popped up and said, "Do you want to ban this viewer?" And it gave me a viewer. So, what?
I wonder if
What
they
you?
did they say something that
What'd you
like
say,
triggered
dude?
it or
Well, I've never seen that before. I've never seen like
uh
on Ecamm. Do you want to ban this viewer? And I clicked off it, so I don't even see what he said. But I was like,
uh I
I'll
don't know if
tell.
there's like
I
I wonder
don't.
if
You
there's
don't
like
tell me if I. You don't ask me if I want to ban somebody. I ban whoever I want. That was weird.
yeah, I wonder if there's like keywords that like trigger that. But this is the first time getting it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Do you want to ban this user? Like as soon as we went live, do you want to ban this user? That was weird. Anyway, gosh, totally screwed up my awesome intro.
Yeah, man.
How's everyone doing? Been a few days. Been a few days, man. Been a few days. Been doing some stuff. Went out of town. Went out of town for a little bit, guys. Tell you about that later. Tell you about that later. So anyway, I was going live a ton. Let's see how everyone's doing. How's everyone doing, man? We got some good stuff today. We got some Dawah wars. We always love the Dawah wars, guys, because they're
Oh
like,
yeah.
Islam will take over the world and then there will be peace, and they can't get along with each other for 2 seconds. And I don't mean like on, okay, you got Sunnis and Shias. Obviously, they're going to have arguments and stuff like that. I mean like anyone, like anyone who's doing anything, they just can't get along. Like it'll be these two people over here who can't get along with these two people, can't get along with these three people, who can't get along with this guy, and none of them get along, and they all want attention. So,
Yeah.
in other words, it's not just like huge disagreements like the Sunni Shia split or something like that. It's just they're all competing for attention, and so they start getting antsy when someone else starts getting attention, so they have to attack. And anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting for anyone who thinks Islam will take over the world and we're going to restore the caliphate. How? You can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I keep saying it. If you have a caliphate, you just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then someone stronger comes along and takes over the caliphate, and then it's their caliphate for a while, and then someone else comes along, they're stronger, and they take it over. As long as it's kind of held together the entire time, you can keep it going. Once it's all broken apart and split up, and everyone's good doing their own thing, and each group thinks they should be in charge. Too late, guys. Too late. The only thing you can do, the only way to save the ummah is for everyone, and I mean every Muslim out there, to rally around Ali Dawah as the new caliph.
That's it, guys.
It's the only way. And if you don't do it, how much do you really care about Islam? That's what I'm wondering. Let's check out these guys. Hello, everyone. Hello there.
What's up? What's up?
Christ is Lord. That's true.
Amen.
You said, what did Jack Ray post?
Did Jack Ray post something that we missed? He didn't get banned.
Oh, wait, here. No, Jack Ray did post something. Let's see. Posted a super chat. I was just going through regular stuff. Bombs away? What do you mean on what? Someone is already catching a ban. Was it me? Ooh, hey, what is this? AI surveillance. That'd be creepy.
Oh, yeah, guys. AI is gonna start banning us all.
Hey, maybe I should just take the AI's word for it and be like, hey, their AI's recommending I ban somebody. I don't even need to check it out. I'll just start banning. Let's see, we've got Jack right here. Oh no, 3 months without Mike Winger. Oh yeah, I can watch David Wood for more Mike Winger good. Oh yeah, this is me. Hey, that should be bannable right now. Lucky you're catching me in a good mood right now because we got
maybe that's
Dawah
what
Wars.
maybe that's what the AI wanted to ban. Was
I should do that. I wonder if I could program this. See, I still don't know how to do like 98% of what I can do with this program. I should set it up. Anyone who mentions Mike Winger that's not in a really mean way gets banned instantly. Hey, Nordine. I haven't looked yet. I'm guessing it's either back in the day. I would have said it's something about Yajuj and Majuj, but I'm guessing it's something along the line of that the only explanation for why people believe dumb things is that it's demonic. And so instead of talking about the Dawah Wars, we need to be talking about demons this entire show. Let's see.
Pretty close.
Stupidity is just a label, not an explanation. What makes a person stupid or less skeptical? What makes a person more skeptical? Yeah. So that's part of the discussion. What makes a person more skeptical? Some people are just like that, Nordine. What makes a person stupid? All kinds of things. It can be part of how you're raised, lack of critical thinking skills, but some people are just lower IQ and are just born that way. And some kids are just born super geniuses and so on. And so it's a mixture of nature and nurture. It's not all demonic stuff. So this is Nordine responding to me pointing it, because I'm not even explaining anymore. Gosh, Nordine, just shut up with the nonsense. You are weird. You're freaking weird, and you want to turn every discussion into demonic stuff. No, if anything seems demonic to me, that seems demonic. Just talk about demons. Just talk about demons. So if anyone doesn't know the situation here, Nordine wants to explain anyone who believes in something stupid, it's because demons are possessing the person's brain. And so instead of reasoning with the person, explaining the evidence, you should just start casting out demons or something like that. And so I say, what are you talking about? Sometimes you talk to someone and explain things to them, and then they drop their dumb belief. Oh, but why don't other people drop their dumb belief? Well, because some people are less skeptical and they have different levels of intelligence. Oh no, what makes it that way? And Nordine believes it's all demonic. If you're dumb, it's because demons are making you dumb. Oh my goodness, Nordine, give it up right now. Don't. It's getting super old. It's getting super old, dude. This is all well and good, but have you considered aliens? Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Hey, Nordine, how do you know it's not powerful? Aliens causing people to believe stupid thing all the time. David, you're several days late. Take your $5 punishment as admonishment. It's never too late for Dawah Wars, guys. This is going on right now today. This is breaking Dawah Wars. This is breaking Dawah. It's been going on for several days. It's been building up because of the women, and it's just it's really interesting. So you've got the new women of Dawah who are just awful, disgusting behavior. I mean, like some of the nastiest stuff. It's Itachi and Korra. Itachi celebrates the mocks the 21 cops. That's the only clip I think I've seen from Itachi. But the only clip I've seen from Itachi is she was mocking the 21 cops who were just flat out murdered by ISIS, and she mocks them. And then Korra, my goodness. Some of the most disgusting behavior I've ever seen. And buddies with Malik. She hitched her car to that train. Anyway, before we get started, I want to thank Nordine for funding Christian Apologist with his obsession on demons and making sure everyone knows about it. Yeah, I know. TikTok, David Sagara is late to rock. David Sagara is never late. I had a siesta. Wait, what is this? TikTok, time to block. Oh, yeah, that's good. Wes Huff mentioned something interesting. Quran 4:157. Jews said, we killed the Messiah. But if they knew he was the Messiah, they wouldn't kill him. And if you're saying paraphrasing, then the Quran isn't clear. No, we pointed out for years that the Jews, in Surah 4, verse 157, were bragging not just about killing Jesus, they're bragging about killing the Messiah. And so the Muslim response is usually they were mocking or something. Oh, look at us, we killed the Messiah. Translate terms from English to Hindi. No, I can't. Muslims seem to be more sensitive these days. I just say hi and they ban me, lol. P.S. I think Nordine is Mike Winger. That would explain a lot, trying to ruin mine. Only demons can make a person consistently late for his own streams. That's the only possible explanation there. Is it just me, or did Jai go to a red shift of 1? You see, he's running. Get it? Red shift. Yeah, we get it, running. But those of you who don't understand physics or cosmology won't even understand red shift. You see, you're possessed by demons who keep you from understanding red shift. Hey, it's the Dr. Daff Show. Hi, we'd love to have Hey, this is for you, Jai. This is the Dr. Daff Show. Hi, we'd love to have DOC on the show. Please get in touch. Thanks.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah, we watch your show. We like what you guys do. We'll probably get in touch. And
we would also love to see
For
DOC
sure.
on the Dr. Dav show. Are first cousin marriage demonic? They cause low IQ. Yeah, you'd have to say. Well, I mean, there you might say demons want people to have tons and tons of generations of first cousin marriage to keep them dumb. All right, man. Jai, why don't you break down what's been going on with the Dawah Wars, and then we'll check it out. So, guys, we got Muslim Lantern, who first it started with a tweet. He started posting about it, and then made a full video explaining it. Haven't watched it. We're about to see it. We got kind of a compilation of various popular Muslims and scholars commenting on whether there should be women in Dawah. And we'll check out some. Muhammad Hijab jumped into the fray. Muhammad Hijab jumped in there, sharing his powerful thoughts, and people are now accusing Muhammad Hijab of being a feminist. He's saying things like, if we aren't using women for the dawah, we're losing half of our brain power and effectiveness. And that's like classic. That's like classic criticism of Islam. If you're just keeping women from doing anything, you're losing half of the potential in your entire community and stuff. And so hijab is actually on board with that. So good to know. But man, this is going to be a big mess. But what do we got? Jay?
So basically, this new uprise of Dawah girls, like actual Dawah girls, not the Dawah boys that we call Dawah girls sometimes, actual females doing Dawah, specifically Cora and Itachi. Like you, David, I'm not too familiar with Itachi other than seeing a couple clips here and there. The 21 cops who were martyred, that has been going around on social media. It's on X and TikTok and stuff. So, yeah, she doesn't seem like the most, I don't know how you want to say it, but she doesn't seem like someone that anyone should be interested in talking to if she's just going to be making fun of martyrs and stuff like that. But, so anyway, she's making the rounds with Cora, and they're being promoted. They're being promoted not necessarily by the big Dawah guys, which is interesting because they see each other as competition. Like Muhammad Hijab told us that they all get jealous of each other. So they're not like, being promoted by the big Dawah guys, but they are being promoted by the Muslim community. And so the Dawah guys who are big and have, channels that Muslims will look up to and regard their opinions are now speaking out on this topic because of people like Muslim Lantern and others saying, instead of what we were saying was that, oh, this is really interesting to see women doing dawah. We want to see more of it. We want to see what they can kind of bring to the table and see how it changes up the scene. Well, not every Muslim is happy about that, and a lot of them are taking issue with it from Islamic groundings and Islamic rulings that women should not be doing public dawah. They shouldn't be doing public dawah, and especially not to men. And they shouldn't be seen, and some of them are saying they shouldn't even be heard. So Muslim Lantern shares that opinion, but he's not the only one. There are a number of Muslims who are popular on YouTube, or sheikhs, or scholars, including the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia, by the way. They and this isn't on any of the clips that we have, but there's a ruling by even Al-Albani, who obviously wasn't writing about TikTok and YouTube in his time, but he was talking about women doing dawah and going out in public and kind of speaking in mixed audiences and all this other stuff. So he's of that opinion as well, that no, this is completely forbidden in Islam, and there's no precedence for it. And it seems like all the traditional kind of Muslims, ones who lean in traditional leanings, at least, that they are against this. But the ones who are coming out, like Muhammad Hijab, in their defense, Jake said something. It's not really clear what his position is. He was kind of more just taking a shot at Muslim Lantern because Muslim Lantern apparently didn't sign his document against Daniel. So,
that's what it's about. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was responding to. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, so he
Oh, okay.
apparently
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't know
sign
who
his
he was talking about.
yeah, he apparently didn't sign his document, had to do something to do with Daniel. So he's like, I don't really care what you have to say about woman and Dawah because you don't talk about like kufr and things like this, and talking about Daniel. So he didn't really share his opinion on whether or not women should be doing Dawah in public or not, or to men. But it seems to be like the vast majority of Muslims are against it, like at least on a popular level, the vast majority of Muslims are against it. But you do have Muhammad Hijab coming against it, and I think that's going to be really interesting to hear his or read what he has to say about this. I don't know if he'll end up making a video about it or not, but he kind of takes the opposite position, and he thinks that there should be some sort of like there should be a space for a Muslim woman to do this in public, and we'll see what motivates him to say that. It's actually in part Candace Owens, believe it or not. That's partially why he's behind it. And we'll see how Muslims respond to that as well.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. So it is interesting the dynamics here because so you have like traditional Muslims jumping in here saying, "Hey, you've got women. Some of the women like on TikTok and so on, like or even on YouTube, well, like Lily J, right? Lily J, she's still wearing like yoga pants and no hijab. She'll occasionally toss a hijab on when she wants to and stuff. But other than that, again, yoga pants and super tight fitting clothes and stuff. So you got a lot of Muslims saying, "Hey, this is not appropriate to be dressed in this way." But then you have like Cora and Itachi who who are wearing the niqab. Although I saw some people criticizing Itachi because she had on loose fitting clothes, but she had some sort of like belt around her, which pulled it tight, which made her bosom stick out. Saw people complaining about that. Yeah, they're complaining about that.
I was wondering what they were complaining about because to me, I mean, I don't know like what the proper dress looks like, so I was like, well, she's fully covered to me. So what are they complaining about? But so you're saying that she had like some sort of belt on that. Oh, okay.
I'm saying that was the criticism. That was the criticism. I still haven't watched that. We'll probably want to review those debates that came out and stuff like that. But yeah, the only thing I've actually seen from Itachi is that her making fun of the 21 cops who were murdered.
I know. Now the video that video, I'm pretty sure you only see her from like the nose up. You don't see because they were criticizing how she's wearing all of her clothes from that other debate. And I did notice as well that she was sitting very close to some guy, and I don't know if it's her husband or not, but she was like almost like rubbing shoulders with the guy, and that I knew Muslims would have a fit about that because that's not allowed at all. I mean, you're that close to a guy, and now if it's her husband, I don't know if that changes things or not. I mean, in terms of the rulings or whatever, but Muslims are very upset about that too. So that is another thing I've seen about her, but I didn't hear her. It was just kind of more about her.
Yeah, so some of the criticisms of women in Dawah is that they're showing their faces, they're interacting with men and discussing things with men. So that's one. But then even in the, even for like Cora, who's, fully, wearing a niqab and stuff like that, it's one, you shouldn't be interacting with guys at all. You shouldn't be publicly interacting with guys on TikTok, and you shouldn't even be. They shouldn't even be hearing your voice and things like that. So you have those kinds of objections. Then you have the objections that these women are just like you have people complaining about their behavior. That's where Muslim Lantern started commenting to begin with, like all this. Yeah, we baked you. Yeah, you got baked. You got baked. He was complaining about that and saying, like, this isn't helpful. So there he seems to think that that's just generally bad for Dawah and that you're not giving a good impression of good Islamic manners, which is weird because, these are always the people who become popular, the people with the worst behavior. So what's that say about the ummah? So you got people complaining about the behavior. You've got people who are objecting because they're just spouting heretical nonsense. I mean, you had Cora saying, Allah is not omnipotent and stuff like that. I'm guessing lots of Muslims would object to saying that Allah is not omnipotent. And but I mean, it became a joke. I mean, this was Elijah, and he's going like what you're describing. You're saying that Allah, he's not omnipotent, he's spatial, he's temporal, and he's like that's me. You're describing me. That's everything you're telling me about your God describes me, because that's what I'm not omnipotent. I'm spatial, you know. So you have that, and then of course they're all going, because of the Islamic dilemma. They're all going in the fatherite direction because they want to go. Their response, for some reason, the response they're favoring to the Islamic dilemma is the general confirmation. Is it's just affirming the Bible in general, not necessarily in every little detail. But okay, it's general across Old Testament and New Testament that God is our Father. And so they start acknowledging, yes, you could in the past call Allah Father, but he abrogated that with the Quran. But before the Quran, it was perfectly acceptable to refer to Allah as Father, whereas you look at the classical Muslim commentators on this, and they say, no, that's unbelief. That's kufr. They call you a kafir if you said it was ever okay to refer to Allah as Father, even in a metaphorical sense, even in a completely metaphorical sense. Kufr. It's unbelief. Can't do it. Can't do it ever. And so these ladies would be kafirs, according to classical Muslim commentators. So you have Muslims who are objecting to that. Wait a minute, you're spreading this? In other words, these are the examples on TikTok that young Muslims are listening to, and young Muslim girls are listening to these these Dawah ladies, and the Dawah ladies are basically turning them into kafirs. So you have people who are objecting along those lines. And then you've got the people who are, to be fair, just jealous that girls are getting more attention than some of the Dawah guys, and so they want to attack them along those lines. And us, we just get to watch it all.
Yeah, exactly. We're just amplifying it. We're just like, okay, this is what this side has to say. This is what this side has to say. And so I was only aware of Muhammad Hijab giving a post on YouTube, but actually, you found that he actually had like a whole thread. So it seems like from like the little bit I have seen, he is trying to give. It seems like he is trying to give some Islamic justification, right, for that view. So that should be interesting, because we're going to hear Muslim Lantern. He has got a whole section on why it's forbidden according to Islam. He goes through all the reasons too. He even says at the beginning of the video, he's like, listen to the whole thing before you comment, because most likely whatever you're going to say, I'm going to respond to. Because in my head, I was thinking of responses of what I've seen Muslims say, and he actually did address almost everything that I could think of that they would say. So I don't know if Muhammad Hijab watched the video or not, but maybe some of his points are actually addressed.
Yeah, and the other issue, which I didn't mention, so all the different issues. One, is it just okay? One, should Muslim women be speaking to men at all and interacting that way? So that's one thing. And then two, like, how should they be dressed? And is it okay for them, men to even hear their voices and things like that? You got those kinds of issues. Then, but what about their behavior? Their behavior is actually like terrible, and it's repulsive to non-Muslims. So it's not actually going to help the Dawah. And, and then of course that they're getting all kinds of, attention for these kinds of things. And then you've got the people who are just jealous. They're just flat out jealous, because it should be their Dawah guy. But apart from all that, you might be saying, okay, if it's causing these problems and causing these this fighting in the Ummah over this issue, why are so many Muslims sort of rallying around them? And it's because they're very desperate, guys. Right now, the Ummah will cling to absolutely anything. It's like a person. It's like a person drowning in the middle of the ocean, stuff like that. They'll just grab onto anything. It wouldn't matter if it was like a floating bomb beside it. You're just going to lash out and grab onto it, even if it's going to blow up. So that's kind of where Islam is right now. They're dealing with the avalanche of apostasy. They're dealing with lots more Christians and non-Christians learning the Dawah script and learning how to respond to it. They're in panic mode. And so anyone who can come along, I mean, again, like clinging to Lily J, seriously, ChatGPT, and they're just, the new savior of the Ummah. It's like, oh, you guys are cooked, man. You guys are baked to go with the Dawah girls lingo.
The Dawah girls slang. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and check out. Let's go ahead and check out a quick that compilation. The compilation.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Let's check this out, guys. So this is a bunch of Muslim Dawah guys and scholars commenting on whether it's appropriate to have women in Dawah. So here are...
By the way, language warning for anyone listening that there's going to be Dawah girls speaking, and they do not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know that was in here. Okay, so yeah, guys, I haven't seen this, but this was sent to me a little while ago. So let's check it out. A little compilation here.
Wait, is this the one? Wait, okay,
it's this one.
Okay, So okay, there's one where the sheikh at the end do you know if his voice is that
this is the one you said that sheikh should be muted because he copyrights everyone.
Okay,
yeah, so this is the
that
one.
Guy's a loser. He's a complete loser, man. But you're good. With this one, yeah.
which lots of times I wouldn't care. I'd say go ahead and do the copyright. I'll win it or something like that. Right now it's like I don't feel like dealing with this right now. So let's just go ahead and go with the muted version because it's subtitled, so we can read it. But yeah, sometimes I'd be happy to deal with this, but yeah, a little old right now, given hijab copyright striking everyone right now. All right, we ready? Here we go. These are various Muslims and Muslim scholars reacting to women in Dawah. And it's interesting how this apparently keeps coming up, because lots of the clips I've seen over the past month it's like Q&A, and people are coming up to scholar, hey, what's up with women in Dawah? What is there a problem here and stuff? So anyway, it's becoming an issue. The great fitna of 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Okay, I have another question. Can a female give a religious-related lecture for the sake of Allah on a social media platform for the public? So men and women are...
Look at Uthman. Look at him like, where's he going to go with this, man? Where's he going to go? Is he ready for this? So this is just a lecture. Can a Muslim woman give a lecture on social media? Mm-hmm. So not even talking about like debating or something like that, unless the question continues. But I'll go ahead and back it up because we hear it.
Lecture for the sake of Allah on a social media platform for the public. So men and women are watching this. Is this permissible for her to give this religious-related...
And that was a woman asking, so she's... and by the way, I just looked at it. Panel discussion, Q&A for sisters. So this is specifically for Muslim women to get up and ask questions to the great and mighty Sheikh Uthman and his awesome jacket. Do you know who this guy is? I've seen this guy a ton of times. I don't know who it is.
I think his name is Zaid Abu Karim. Or I don't know, Sheikh Zaid Abu Karim or something like that, or Karim Abu Zaid or something like that. One of the two names. But yeah, he's Sheikh Uthman's buddy. He goes to all his events and he does these things. And he was one of the guys that grilled Daniel before when Uthman had Daniel up on a panel like this. He was one of the guys that grilled Daniel and made him take what they call the Salafi Shahada or something like that. So yeah, he's
nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this aesthetic here. I mean, Sheikh Uthman is the only thing with any color on this. This other guy, he's like in white with the
white background, the white
with the white beard. It's like, yeah, if Sheikh Uthman wasn't there, I'd be like, is this guy just in front of a green screen and everything was green, or I don't know what's going on, but you almost can't see him. All right, let's see what he has to say.
What we see these days of sisters coming and exposing themselves, whether in a public forum, like in a conference, and they stand in front, that's unheard of.
Are you fucking retarded?
Or sisters who expose themselves on social media, that is not how it's done.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Guys, I did not edit this, but we watched this the other day. We just played a clip. We played a clip of Cora. It was really, really bad. So that's Cora. That's Cora interjecting. And by the way, that's how she responds to other Muslims. She's talking to a Muslim in that clip who says he doesn't like Ibn Taymiyyah. And she's going off. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, so we got responses from Muslim women of the Muslim women of Dawah responding.
Yeah, when I was sent it, I went through it once because I was kind of in editor mode, thinking okay, is this good? Do we need to add anything else? But now that I'm actually watching it, I didn't realize it was he says something and then she responds to him, and it's that was actually wow, that's pretty crazy.
Okay, that's funny. So I backed it up because now we know what's going on. But Sheikh Uthman's cracking me up right. How are you going to handle this one? You got Muslim women asking you, are we allowed to even give a lecture on social media? Can we just give a lecture? We could be fully clothed. We could be like full burqa, not even seeing us. Can we even give a lecture on YouTube or TikTok or something like that? Let's get the official response from Muslim men.
Religious related.
What we see these days of sisters coming and exposing themselves, whether in a public forum, like in a conference, and they stand in front, that's unheard of.
Are you fucking retarded?
Or sisters who expose themselves on social media, that is not how it's done.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The mothers of the believers, they have never done that. None of them came out and exposing herself in public in order to teach the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You're confused. You're lost in the sauce. There's something going on in the head.
Dawah is a job for men to do.
Nobody gives a fuck about what you say.
Now, some people are going to hear this and they're like, no, like there are some, because the da'wah is a job of the messengers. Someone will be like, oh, but there are some scholars, like Qurtubi or Ibn Hazm or this or that, said that female can be a prophetess. People will go to any irregular opinion to justify what they're doing, essentially.
Stop acting like a bitch boy.
Now, that is a regular opinion, and it's clearly, if you look at the evidences in the Quran and Sunnah, you would realize that this opinion has no bearing and is clearly contradicting. Why? First, Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ. وَمَا, we did not send before you, إِلَّا, except. So we didn't, so we have negation. An exception, it means exclusivity in the Arabic language.
Oh, by the way, do you know if this is from the longer clip of him that we're going to watch?
Yeah, so we're gonna watch the full thing. We'll get his full.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch the full Muslim Lantern because, he seems to be taking, based on just what I've seen and what you said, he seems to be like trying to go through this in detail. And
he does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he
it
tries
would be
to get
good. It would
all
be
of
good.
the responses that they. Yeah. So yeah, it's worth going through all the. Yeah.
All right. And so we shall. We want to know. We want to know if this is acceptable or not.
Except men. We did not send before you except men, we revealed to them. So first, Allah says that clearly in the Quran. And da'wah requires sometimes to get involved in sensitive topics.
Hey, everybody. 21 cops in the chat, man. 21 cops in the chat, man.
Yep, that's what I've seen from, that's her mocking the beheadings of 21 cops. Hey, 21 cops in the chat, 21 cops.
21 cops in the chat. I want a full minute of 21 cops in the chat. Y'all got till 8:07.
Some of the sisters nowadays on social media, it's not like they have some knowledge that no man has. They just, utilize that platform for popularity. And the asal, the original state of the woman is haya, is shyness, and to keep as out from the public eye as possible.
He got to. Oh, I get it. That's from the debate. That's from the debate that we'll need to review. But saying she's supposed to be characterized by shyness, and yet you can tell she had the I don't know what she's wearing, but she had a. Doesn't that look like Japanese or something? Is that why she goes by Itachi?
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, yeah, that's a good. I didn't. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What the heck? What the heck is Itachi? Is that like?
Someone said
is
it's
that
an anime thing.
on.
So yeah, Japanese makes sense actually. But yeah, you can see how they're like. I don't know who this guy is in relation to her, but you can see how they're like touching. Their arms are touching. This is completely forbidden if he's not considered like a mahram for her, like someone who's
She is. That's an anime. Who the heck is going to have a dumb anime character as some sort of... Oh, she's copying me with Saitama. Oh, I get it. Itachi Uchiha is a fictional character in the Naruto manga and anime series created by some person. Itachi is the older brother? Oh, it's a dude.
Right? Huh.
That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you could tell she's going with the... She's going with the Japanese anime vibe in dressing. By the way, you know what I'm thinking? Because they're covering their faces, just leaving their eyes uncovered. And you think, oh, they're dressing modestly because they really respect Islamic rules. You can tell they don't have a lot of respect for anything having to do with good manners. I seriously think like this young generation of Dawah girls, they know they're going to keep embarrassing themselves, and they know, hey, well, if you've never seen my face, then I can just reset anytime I want, and you'll never know who I was, and so it doesn't matter how much damage I do or how much I embarrass the ummah. I can always just
That's true. Yeah.
you'll never call me out because you don't know what I look like in real life. All right.
We're gonna have to make dua for you.
On video, it is not possible at all. That barrier can easily be broken. That is the reason I would suggest that a Muslimah should not use video recording on any of the social media platforms.
I think the best thing.
Oh, so I think the point of the of that clip up there was was just showing
Showing
that
her
this
on
is
video.
showing her discussing with Nick of Fearless Truth. So look at this. That's Cora just chatting it up with Nick. Hey Nick, how you doing? How you doing, Nick?
It is not possible at all. That barrier can easily be broken. That is the reason I would suggest that a Muslimah should not use video recording on any of the social media platforms.
I think the best thing for our sisters especially is to try to protect yourself from online exposure as much as you can. Because even for men, to be honest, it's a big fitna. Not a fitna just like, okay, you're online and you're famous or something, but you become a target.
Can a Niqabi woman give da'wah on YouTube or TikTok? What are the limits for women in da'wah?
If a woman comes on social media with her niqab, giving da'wah, the physical hijab and niqab is there. The sentimental one is not there. Because she's speaking. And this defies the purpose of hijab. When a woman, and I've seen some clips of da'is, especially from America, this is where we have all the problems coming from. This is haram. What are you guys doing? This is not permissible. But Sheikh, I have knowledge and I would like to share my knowledge with the world. No, my sister or my daughter or whatever you are, share your knowledge with sisters. Don't share it with men. To the fact that the best woman in Islam in terms of knowledge was Mother Aisha. After the death of the Prophet ﷺ, she is the mother of the believers. All men are considered to be her sons. No one can marry her. Yet never ever she stood on a podium or in a masjid or in a public lecture addressing men. Never. And she's their mother. And she's the most knowledgeable one of them. So when you come on social media and give da'wah and speak and become emotional.
He has no books! He left behind 0 books. How the fuck am I gonna read books from a guy that never left behind books? What the fuck are you talking about?
While men are watching, where is the da'wah? No shame, no bashfulness. Addressing men and women and being publicly doing this is wrong and sinful. And Allah knows best.
Okay, so this guy's allowed to. He doesn't do the copyright thing, but this is the Grand Mufti. He's now the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. So if that matters to any Dawah person who's watching this, the questioner is asking the question, and the Grand Mufti is gonna. I don't know if this was while he was the Grand Mufti or not, but today he's the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia.
So it's just a translation on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So I'll read it.
He's allowed to. Yeah, he's allowed. He's not the one that we're worried about. It's another guy after him. But yeah.
Okay, I'll go and read it though.
Wrong and sinful. And Allah knows best.
There has been requests concerning the dire necessity for the participation of women in the field of da'wah, and for women to have tapes of their lectures sold in stores. Oh yeah, this might have been back in the day. And they say the opinion that the voice of the women, the voice of the women is aura.
Like it's considered like her nakedness or something like that. It's like not to be heard, not to be seen.
Is an obscure and unsupported opinion. Oops, I missed the part.
That was a quick.
That was quick. It has reached the extent that the Quran radio broadcast channel was also criticized for this opinion. And they accept their request, and now women have started giving talks live on air. What is your advice concerning this? Oh, okay. So that was someone else asking him.
Yeah, that was the questioner. Yep. And now this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got it.
ماذا
What do they say about his statement? The Most High.
فلا تخضعن
So do not be soft in speech,
بالقول فيطمع الذي في قلبه.
in case the one whose heart is a disease should be moved with desire.
That's in the Quran, guys. And if a woman softens her, like you saw how Korah kept changing the pitch in her voice, like she's like changing the tone and the pitch, and that's completely forbidden according to the Quran. You can't, when you soften your voice at all, this is what the Quran says. It can make people stumble if they have diseases in their hearts.
Yeah, imagine this. Cora's sitting there chatting it up with Nick. Haven't seen the discussion, but hi, Nick. Oh, you Eastern Orthodox guys are so strong and manly like Muslims, but Muhammad Hijab pointed out that Muslims are so weak. So, you're so cute. Can I talk to your friend Ben? He's even dreamier.
هل هذا قول شاذ؟
Is this an obscure and unsupported opinion?
Is the Quran?
Yeah. Is the Quran an unsupported opinion of Allah? Is the verse an obscure and unsupported statement? Then be not soft in speech, in case the in whose heart is a disease should be moved with desire when he hears your voice. But speak in an honorable manner. Okay, well, it says speak in an honorable manner, so that's okay. Is this an obscure and unsupported opinion? We seek refuge from misguidance. The woman during Hajj does not raise her voice with the talbiyah.
Oh yeah, this was interesting. See, there's some things I was actually learning about when I was hearing them talk about this stuff. Apparently, like if even like the I forget what it. Maybe he talks about it here. Actually, we'll just see what he says. Yeah,
let's see.
The
sunnah is that she says the talbiyah but does not raise her voice. This is the sunnah of the messenger. The woman in the prayer, if the imam makes a mistake.
Oh yeah, this is something that was new to me. I just learned this.
She does not say Subhanallah like men do. Rather, she only slaps her hands.
Like she claps.
Is this an obscure and unsupported opinion? Are the ahadith obscure and unsupported? So yes. Hey, is this an unsupported opinion that these women shouldn't be doing this stuff? Oh, is the Quran an unsupported opinion? Is the hadith? However, these people are either from the people of misguidance and deviation, or they do not understand. And are unaware that they are ignoramuses.
So brother Uthman ibn Farouk with our Sheikh, our beloved.
That's when I would like to say, okay, so who knows more about Islam? Is it the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia or like Muhammad Hijab or Malik who's promoting these girls? Yeah, like who knows more about Islam? And now they can find people who have different opinions, but that's why we wanted to highlight all the different, you have Uthman, this is like one of their guys. He's one of their guys, and he's saying openly that this is not allowed. He only gives one exception, and he says, if the woman has some sort of knowledge that no man has, then there's a way that she can do it, which is allowed Islamically. Like he could use the example with like Aisha. So she'll like naturally, because she was his favorite wife and she grew up with him, that there were certain things about Muhammad that only she would know. So when he died, when he was killed by the Jewish woman who poisoned him, and he his aorta was severed. Aisha would have known things that only she would have known because she was privy to these things because she grew up with him and lived with him. So it makes sense that when she was teaching this stuff, it's because she had this unique knowledge that no one else had. But now we're in this situation where Korah and Itachi, they're only learning their arguments from Dawah guys, and the Dawah guys know that these women can maybe articulate better than them, or they're better in some sort of way. Maybe people would want to see them more than them. So they're getting the knowledge from the men, and they're just kind of saying it to people. But Othman's rule is, if the knowledge is not unique to the woman, then she doesn't, she doesn't say anything. If the knowledge is not unique to her, then she doesn't say anything. It's only if she has some sort of hidden knowledge that nobody else has, like Aisha, for example, she would have had some hidden knowledge, then she can say it to the public. But there's ways in which you can do that. So they were saying that, like, basically, the situation that the Dawah girls are in today, it's from Uthman's opinion, it's completely forbidden.
But people don't understand. What does the Grand Mufti? He's what Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia?
Yep.
Okay. Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. How well does this guy know TikTok? Huh? You ever heard of this guy on TikTok? So who really knows more, huh? I've never even heard of this. I've heard of the Grand Mufti and stuff like that. I never heard that guy before. Whereas I hear from TikTok Muslims all the time. So who really knows more? All right, guys, we're gonna do a poll right now. It's who knows more about Islam, the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia or Korah and Itachi?
Oh man. So this is the context for this clip here. There's not just Uthman, there's a bunch of Dawah guys, including Muslim Lantern and including a couple guys from the UK. And the idea was that because of Daniel, who was kind of doing this whole supporting Iran and the Shia and things like that, and basically taking opinions that they don't agree with and kind of creating sort of what they would call a fitna between them, like this, causing these problems, you could say, or whatever, between people. Daniel kind of triggered them to make this coalition of, it's called the Global Dawah Community or whatever. I think he's about to introduce it here. But this guy, his name is Uthman al-Khamis, and he is their leader. This is the guy who copyrights everything, by the way. So he's their leader, and he's the one that they're like Uthman's about to say. So all these Dawah, his point of existence is to kind of settle all the issues. So you don't have people like Daniel anymore. You don't have people like Daniel who just kind of go off in their own way. He's supposed to be the leader, the kind of central figure for all these Dawah guys. So that way, it's not just like Uthman saying one thing and then Daniel saying one thing. It's like, no, if we have a disagreement, we go to this guy. He gives the fatwa, he gives the ruling, and then, that's what we go by. So he's kind of introducing this, and then we're going to go to his opinion, their leader's opinion on what does he say on this topic.
Yeah, and everyone notice. So the Grand Mufti has a narrow lead. We want to see we want to see how this plays out because what does that guy really know? What does he know about TikTok? What does he know about Dawah? Again, I hear about Korah pretty regularly. I never hear about the boring old crusty Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. What could that guy possibly know about Dawah? So anyway, he's got a narrow lead right now. But notice, guys, to keep it fair, I made it Korah and Itachi together.
Oh.
Why? They each have half a brain. So in order to cancel out that possible objection, they have half a brain, according to Islam. I got two of them together. So their brain adds up to one whole brain. And then we can see. So then we can see who has more knowledge. All right. Off to a good start here.
So
and then
is
we
the guy
have
who settles all the disputes here.
We have this sniveling crybaby who copyrights everyone.
It's your brother Uthman ibn Farouk with our Sheikh, our beloved Sheikh Uthman Khamis. And alhamdulillah, one of the things that we see a lot of issues with is problems between du'at and disagreements and so on. And we request our Sheikh, who is going to be our authority. Fadl Sheikh.
Okay, so yeah.
So this I have to read. Because he copyrights anything he says. All right, let's see.
Who's going to be our authority?
You should do it in like the Ali Dawah voice, because that's probably what he sounds like.
Oh, probably. Some Muslim women on social media appear with their faces and voices for the purpose of da'wah to Allah. No, this is not correct, ever. A woman does da'wah to women and does not speak softly in front of men and such. No. The voice of a woman is not aura, but if there is softness in the voice and such, no. This is not correct. The woman...
authority.
Hey, what the heck?
Oh.
1 second. No, this is not correct. The woman is to preach, do da'wah to women, not to men.
Our authority.
So that's the authority.
So there you go, guys. So their authority of this kind of Dawah coalition guy, the leader who gives all the rulings when they have disagreements, he's saying not allowed. Osman Hakim is saying not allowed. Muslim Lantern saying not allowed. Uthman ibn Fibn saying not allowed. Zakir Naik saying not allowed. Who's saying it's allowed? I guess we'll see. We'll see.
And again, guys, all kinds of different possible reasons for the objection. But I mean, man, if these guys think this is bad, they'd better make it really clear, real quick, because women on like TikTok and stuff are becoming very popular. And then you got the Lily J crowd and so on. So, and they're the ones setting the example for the young Muslim women. So they're about to.
They're going to recruit a whole generation.
Yeah, they're about to. The men are about to completely lose control, and we've seen this over and over and over again, where a woman will be on TikTok. We've watched the clips before, where a woman will convert, and everyone will start praising her, and she'll be like, "Oh, and now I'm going to talk," and then she starts talking about Islam and stuff, and then all of a sudden, "Hey, I don't have to wear a hijab," and all the guys are like, "No, you have to wear a hijab." She, "No, I study for myself. I don't have to wear a hijab. I don't have to." And then they just, start going back and forth, and these guys realize they can't control these women anymore. And guess what? That's accelerating. The women, the Muslimas on social media, and these old guys who don't want them influencing the younger generation realize we can't stop them. We can't stop these young ladies. Uh-oh.
And that's what it's really going to come down to. You can have everyone in the world against them, but how are you really going to stop them? Like, I mean, unless you do, well, I don't know. How would you do it? So they're going to have to figure it out. But
all they can do is complain. They're doomed. Notice, guys, this is the exact same thing that happened with Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawah, when they came on the scene, Sheikh Uthman, all these guys, when they came on the scene and they started getting popular, you could circumvent the old way of doing things. So, back in the day, you wanted to speak for Islam, you had to become a scholar. And then, then if you were a respected scholar, then you got to speak for Islam. When it came to Dawah, they would pick people to represent Islam who sounded good to non-Muslims. So they'd get Ahmed Deedat. He's kind of funny when he's speaking, and he's bringing up things that whoever he's talking to has never heard before, so you don't realize how stupid what he's saying is. You don't realize, even if it's contradicting Islam, you don't know. And then Zakir Naik followed in his footsteps, just memorized all his Dawah scripts and started using the same Dawah script and so on. But notice, they're still in control, right? The higher up Muslims are still in control of who's representing Islam for Dawah purposes. All of a sudden, you get to 2016, 2017, 2018, where you didn't have to go become a scholar, and you didn't have to get approval from Muslim organizations to represent Islam. You could just go start talking on social media and get a big following. And by the time people realize these guys are saying some pretty wild stuff and behaving pretty terribly, and they're repulsive in how they act and what they say to non-Muslims, which is the opposite of what you wanted for Dawah. You wanted Dawah to be sort of convincing to non-Muslims. Then when Muslims started objecting, when Muslim scholars started objecting, you're just jealous. You're just jealous because of his big following. No one follows you. Look at you. Sheikh so-and-so from Al-Azhar. You have 200 followers, you little weakling. Right? And you couldn't stop. Ali Dawah, this guy's got over 1 million subscribers. Muhammad Hijab, he's got over 1 million. These guys have all these subscribers. You're just jealous of them, right? So they couldn't stop these guys, and now you're getting the same thing happening with women now. You can't stop them. They can get a follow. How do you stop them now? How is the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia? He can do, this is my ruling. Who cares? Do you think these girls care over on TikTok? You think they're, oh no, the Grand Mufti says so. I guess I'd better stop. They're narcissists. They don't care what you say, dude. and they'll think it's absolutely hilarious that they can get a bigger following than you. So these guys are realizing they are doomed. They are doomed. I'm talking about the scholars, the old school. They are realizing they are doomed. There's nothing they can do to stop them. This is America. This is America. You can't
that's
tell
that's what Osman Hakim said too. He said, "This is in America. We have all these problems because if you're in a Muslim country, they actually can stop you. Yeah, they can stop you, and there are ways they can enforce their rulings and such. But because these people are in America." Ironically enough, because they're not under Islamic law or Islamic leadership, they're able to get away with this stuff.
So that's the situation. That's gotta suck, isn't it? I mean, it's a similar vibe to what we were talking about with like Sajid for years. Remember Sajid? He wanted Dawah to be. He wanted Dawah guys to give a good impression of having really good manners. Muslim Lantern, I haven't seen a lot of Muslim Lantern. I've only seen a couple of clips of Muslim Lantern ever. But it sounds like he's in that camp where he wants Muslim Dawah guys to be known for having good manners, especially like better manners than people who are making fun of Islam. And so, yeah, you've got the Scotland. They just realized, nope, they're powerless. You're powerless to stop it. It was just like Muhammad Hijab. He comes down, you're weakling, you're pathetic. And people are like, Sajid's like, no, dude, stop it. You're creating enemies where we don't want more enemies. But there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do because that's what impresses the Ummah. Well, now you've got all these go, you got big, yeah, you got big, no, you got big, no, you got big, no, I don't care, Allah, no, he's not omnipotent, no, Allah, he's pretty powerful, but not omnipotent, yeah. And what do you do? Yeah, Allah's the Father, but not now, but back in the day before Islam, yeah, he was our Father in heaven. We can even recite the Lord's Prayer, our Father in heaven, but not anymore. But back then you could. So if I got a time machine and went back before Muhammad, I could pray the Lord's Prayer as laid down by Jesus because God is our Father. And there's nothing these guys can do to stop these ladies, and it is it's hilarious. It's funny. I get people, why are you focusing so much on this? Why are you going through all these debates with these women? What is this? What are you trying to destroy? You're trying to destroy these women of Dawah because you realize they're gonna destroy you, and that's why you're trying. No, I want them to get attention. I want them to have attention, guys.
Yeah. Actually, they can go back. We predicted this. I remember I said, like, guys, we're not going to be the ones that it's going to be Muslims who are coming after them. Muslims are the ones that are going to be the end of these, Dawah girls. It's not going to be. We want them to be up. We want them to give their arguments. We want them to. If this is the best way you guys can get your arguments out there is through these Dawah girls, we want to see what you guys have. And as you guys can see, it's nothing. They don't have anything. But their downfall was going to be at the hands of Muslim men, and that's what we called. So I also was thinking as you were talking, I wonder Sneako's involvement in this, because Sneako recently had Cora on his show, and I know that he also collaborates with Muslim Lantern, and when he's in the we know about their relationship,
Sheikh Uthman a lot. Sheikh Uthman a lot.
In the Bosnian hotels, right?
Oh yeah. They're collaborating in lots of ways. They're collabing in lots of ways.
Yeah, so they collab in more than one way, so I wonder if Muslim Lantern got. I mean, well, he probably saw like the clips and stuff like that as well. But now that I'm thinking about the timeline, Sneako did an interview with Cora, and I know because Avery did a response video to that. That's on his channel, but like some of their top points that they raised, and then it was shortly after that. That's when the Muslim Lantern stuff came out. So. So I'm starting to. I wonder Sneako's kind of involvement here, or how much he accidentally popularized her, or something like that. But yeah.
Sneako. Imagine that. Sneako accidentally helping the Dawah wars. Take a few super chats. What we have to decide what we want to cover, because we can go through Muslim Lantern's video. We could check out. Let's check out Muhammad Hijab first, and then we'll check out Muslim Lantern.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I wonder if because that post was after his video, so it's like a response to that. So I'm curious if he brings arguments up that Muslim Lantern didn't even address or something, or I guess we can kind of judge to see who has the better argument.
Oh wait, Hijab was posting after Muslim Lantern?
Yeah. Okay, it's in response to Muslim Lantern.
Maybe we'll check out Muslim Lantern's video first, and then we can see how Hijab is reacting to things.
They always do this thing where they never like say names. In Muslim Lantern, it's going to be so annoying. He's like, yeah, there's these women doing dawah, and like, I'm not gonna say names, but if you guys know who I'm talking about, then you're part of the problem because you didn't say anything about these things to these people, so you're actually part of the problem if you know who I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna tell you who I'm talking about.
Wait,
but if you know,
that's what they would do with us. For you, I mean, sometimes they yes, and David Wood, blah 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 blah. But lots of times it's and there is this YouTuber. I won't even mention his name. Maybe Sheikh Yasser Qadhi. And there's a guy. He did this is what he did. Oh my goodness, can you believe this?
Yeah, this guy reads the Quran and
say my name, man. Hey, I need to take the Breaking Bad clip where he goes, "Say my name," and splice it in there. These are good times, man. Always good to have Dawah Wars. All right, let's take these super chats and then we'll check out Muslim Lanterns video.
Okay.
And then and we'll get Hijab's thoughts. Although I'm sure he's going to be making a video pretty soon because these are the new Dawah Wars. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all going well. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you.
Hey, Gia. That's
Who's
your
that?
new nickname, apparently. Gia.
Oh.
Gia, you didn't read when I wrote small pee-pee gang or big pee-pee zoot gang. Why? Why are you running? You make me sick. I make me sick. We are both sick.
That's true. I didn't read that.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't follow Muhammad Hijab's talk, this is all Muhammad Hijab stuff. Telling his own followers they're all small pee-pees because they're not donating. You make me sick. I make me sick. Let's all be sick together. We'd love to see DOC here. Oh yeah, absolutely. That was for the Dr. Daff show. D. Wood should substitute Mike Winger on his channel throughout his 3-month break. He'll be
funny.
David Winger. Hey, yeah, I should copy his background and start a new talk from Mike Winger. It'll be Star Trek stuff. It's pretty easy. Islam 2.0, Rise of the Half-Brains. That's good one. These Dawah girls are not the sharpest hammers in the fridge. They are demonically possessed. Perhaps Nordine can perform an exorcism or time travel. Yep. That's where we need Nordine. These Dawah... Oops. Let's see. Perfect, Cora. Yeah.
That's going to be her response to the whole thing.
That would be her response to every one of these sheikhs. You cannot do this. You're not allowed. You're going to blah, blah, blah. It's against Islam. It's against the Quran. It's against the Sunnah. What do you have to say for yourself? Okay, perfect. And then she keep doing it. Whiteboard Dawah is the wave of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Future, breaking news. Hijab loses court case, sues the court, then makes himself sick and forgets what his own daddy done. P.S. Watch Damon Wayans in Living Color stuff. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. That's it. You got to understand Dawah. You have to watch Damon Wayans on In Living Color, where he plays the inmate. Why is Jai dressed as Korah? Has he joined Club Pyru? Where is his niqab? So many mysteries. Yep. You're dressing like Club Pyru, man, with that red.
This is a hoodie. It's not a niqab.
Yeah, but if you dress in red, you're Club Pyru, man.
That's the reference. Okay, yeah.
Dave, why don't you collab with John McCrae from What Do You Meme Anymore? I enjoyed the Islamicize Me series. Oh, yeah, he just kind of goes in a different direction with stuff now, and we've gone more in live streams, and John doesn't. He'll occasionally be in one, but he prefers making videos the way he does and stuff. No, we've talked a lot about like redoing Islamicize Me now that we have better technology and now that we know what caused YouTube to flip out about it, we could kind of avoid some of those issues and redo it. But yeah, Harry Nowak, R.I.P. Such a sad story. Video coming. Don't know. What is that?
Not sure.
Oh, what is this? Man guilty of murdering... What is this? Murder of Henry Nowak. Oh, I think I heard about this. I didn't know his name. Oh, yeah, guy killed. Mm-hmm. Died shortly after being handcuffed. Yeah, haven't followed that enough, so. Let's see. Not just Dawah, women destroy everything. Eve. Uh-oh. Nordine says, some people are just like that is not an explanation. Also, why do smart Muslims... All right. Nordine, I warned you. There we go. Friendly ex-Muslim did an expose about Lily J. Apparently her husband is a white convert, and both of their conversions are very interesting. That's Friendly ex-Muslim.
Her husband is a white convert.
Yeah, so that's friendly ex-Muslim is Abdullah Samir and his wife, who's also awesome. So yeah, I'll check that out. Lily J. Bublik Bubbles, the new serious Dawah clown. The smartest Muslims are not exactly the brightest clipboards in the bank vault. These Dawah girls look like Kunoichi, who are female ninjas. Yeah, I've even got, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put that up there real quick. Where was it?
Yeah, apparently it's no longer Islamophobic to say that. Because
yeah, so look at this. So this is a Muslim. Akbar Zab says, the future of online, and that's Itachi there. The future of online da'wah might be female articulate niqabi ninjas dismantling the anti-Islam arguments of the fearful, hateful, and ignorant. May Allah keep them sincere. So he's calling them niqabi ninjas, right? So guys, don't complain anymore. Don't complain. It's funny how much this has come up because Nabil told me this. Nabil told me this about one of his little cousins. He told me this when he was still a Muslim. He said they were walking because like Nabil's family, they would wear hijabs, but they wouldn't go like full like niqab and so on. But he said he had one of his little cousins who had only seen hijabs, and they were walking somewhere, and there was a niqabi, and he said his little cousin goes, "Ninja!" Like, but got actually terrified that a ninja was coming. So there was that, and then it was another time. It was one of my sons, it's Luke, who's like grown now, but he was a little kid, and I was reading an article or something like this, but it had a woman in a niqab as the picture on top, and it might have been about a burqa ban or something like that. But he was probably like 7. He goes, Hey, what are you doing looking at that cool ninja? And so it's a pretty common thing, but now it's Muslim certified. Now it's okay.
Yeah, they're owning it. They're owning it.
They're rolling with it. Let's see. TikTok time to Juj and Majuj. Good. To everyone who is super chatting about Juj and Majuj. Oh, hey, Jai.
What's up?
Now we have 200 jihad bombing up to May 28, 2026. Eid Mubarak. So that's 200 jihad bombings up to May. I mean, in the world this year. Doesn't matter if Aisha had a podium or was shy or not. Aisha narrated so many hadiths. These modern lady da'is are following her example. Okay, perfect. That's right. Ladies of Dawah, don't let these old guys tell you what you can and can't do. Aisha narrated all kinds of hadiths, and if Aisha can narrate all kinds of hadiths, by golly, you can say anything you want and speak authoritatively about Islam on TikTok. You have our stamp of approval. Women in Dawah, they make me sick. I make me sick. I'm 53. Is Cora fit to marry me because of plump eyes? What is this? When Mojab says, you make me sick, I make me sick. In my head, I hear you scream. In my head, I hear you scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream. He might have been thinking that too.
Yeah.
You make me sick. I make me sick. We should
all get ice cream together.
We should all be sick. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Some Dawah women speak softly and carry big sticks. The warner is sure of it. Allah is mother. It's just natural for women Dawah. Oh, yeah. The women are going to introduce sola scriptura in Islam. That's right. You got to fight for your... Oh, that's Beastie Boys there. You got to fight for your right to Dawah. That's right. We got Iran hangs child bride for unaliving husband. What?
A child bride? Wow.
Oh, dang. That's true. Iran, former child bride faces execution by hanging. Huh. Women living under Muslim laws calls for action. Huh. Well. Oh, and they did it. Because I was looking at that, but that was from a little while back.
Whoa.
Iran hangs child bride for murder of husband. Rights group said Samira Sabzian was a child bride who had married her husband at 15 and had been a victim of domestic violence, according to relatives. So no one would help her. She dealt with that, and they apparently executed her. No, that was a while back. Unless this is a different story. Yeah, that was years ago.
Oh,
unless they just did it. I mean, the story was from years
ago.
Oh,
yeah, it could have been a thing where she's in prison for a while or something like that.
Let's see. Howdy, Jai. Where's DOC? Yeah, let's just answer that 7,000 times. DOC is a time-traveling undercover ninja. And we have Dave, I love you, but why do you always look like your skin is pink in your vids? I don't. You just need to adjust your computer. Ironically, the Islamic Reformation will happen because of Christians and women. That's right, it will. And that's the awesome part. And then we have, did you ban Nordine? Yikes, yes. Can't say I did not warn Nordine 5,000 times, but Nordine comes into every single live stream and demands that we just talk about demons the entire time, no matter what the topic is. Islamic dating apps look like Mortal Kombat roster. Yeah, nice. All right. Let's, matter of fact, let me give Jake's response, because you broke down what this is about. So this was Jake, regardless of whether, so you're saying this was him talking, kind of responding to Muslim Lantern, because he's all butthurt because Muslim Lantern wouldn't sign his little document. And so now Muslim Lantern isn't allowed to complain about women in Dawah, because Jake will say, regardless of whether some of your criticisms are correct or not, when you publicly criticize women for doing Dawah and remain silent on a popular man spreading kufr and shirk, then we cannot take you seriously. So you can't take Muslim Lantern seriously when he criticizes the women of Dawah, because Muslim Lantern didn't sign Jake's little document condemning Daniel, you said?
Which did nothing, by the way. I remember it was like 30 names or something like that, and it's absolutely nothing. But Jake is salty about it, of course. He's a very angry person, and he's holding his grudge against Muslim Lantern for not signing his document. So no matter what he says, that may or may not be true, you can't take him seriously because he didn't sign your stupid document. I mean, has it ever occurred to Jake that he doesn't actually think that his arguments were persuasive or something like that? Or maybe he did tell him, like, hey, you got good arguments, but I just don't want to be associated with this. I don't know. But whatever the reason is, he doesn't think you can take him seriously now. So no matter what he says, he can say anything. He can repeat Jake's arguments word for word, but Jake won't take him seriously because he didn't sign his document.
Poor Muslim Lantern. He has to be quiet for the rest of his life now. He's not allowed to criticize any behavior, no matter how much he disagrees with it, because he didn't sign Jake's document. That's how the Dawah wars begin, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's check out Muslim Lantern's video. And this is him responding to the whole situation, but he wants to be careful. As Jai pointed out, he had his little intro where he says, that's the only part of the video I saw. But at the beginning he just says, "Hey, don't be commenting on this if you haven't watched it, because if you comment, you're raising an objection. I probably answer it in this video." And so that was.
He also says that if you say names, you're gonna get your comments deleted, and if you keep saying names, you're gonna get blocked. So I don't know what it is with Muslims. They always do that though. They just try to avoid saying names. Even Jake. He didn't say Muslim Lanterns in his post. He didn't say Muslim Lantern in the post right there. There's something about that. I don't know where it comes from, but they just don't say the names of the people. Like, we all know who you're talking about, but you just don't say the names. It's always so annoying. Weird? Like, there's one clip I did this before when Othman was going to the UK, and he was saying he was not going to disclose his specific school of thought or denomination or whatever, or something like that. And then Shamsi did a video and he was like, so Uthman was like, I'm not going to go and expose my denomination and, save the drama for your mama. And then Shamsi does a video and goes, somebody says they're going to come to the UK. And then I play the clip with Uthman saying, I'm going to the UK. And then he says not going to disclose his denomination. And then I have Uthman saying, I'm not going to disclose my denomination, or like, something about Minhaj checking him or something like that. And his specific like school of thoughts or whatever. Anyway, his tradition. And so, because I guess the idea was that he was going to these different mosques who have like these different traditions, and they kind of like, you can't agree with this one and with this one, you got to kind of choose a lane. And but they always do that. They never say their name. Well, not never, but they rarely ever say their name. And it's so annoying because we all know who you're talking about. But you guys are just, for whatever reason, you don't say the name.
So Muslim Lantern is one of the guys who is not a fan of saying names. And but you're saying he actually says if you say names, he'll block you?
Yeah, eventually he'll block you. By the way, I have to say this as well. I forgot to mention this earlier, but Muslim Lantern also, it was actually Muhammad Hijab who took a page out of Muslim Lantern's book, because Muslim Lantern was one of the original guys who copyright striked Avery when they had their discussion.
By the way, that's the reason I've never, when I said I've only ever seen a couple of clips, and that was like where it was relevant, like Muhammad having a micro PP. I watched that, even though he wasn't even talking during that part, but only a couple times. But it was mainly because of that. It's like, dude, if you're a dirtbag who's going to file copyright complaints and stuff like that, I'm not even gonna watch you because I'm not interested.
Yep. So that's the type of guy that he is. I mean, so he's not he doesn't have some like moral, like obscene character or whatever like that. But yeah, you guys will, if you guys aren't familiar with him, you guys will get a taste of what he's kind of like Sajid, like you said, like in that way where he wants his song to be seen in a certain light, and
yeah. So it started with his tweet, guys. He said, no names.
Yeah.
This new trend of young Muslims, men and now apparently even women, doing religious content with the purpose of dunking on others and scoring points while using thug-like language and insulting people in the process has nothing to do with da'wah. I wonder who you're talking about.
By the way, there were some black Muslims who took offense to that because I guess dunking is associated with, I don't know, some like Black American vocabulary, and he was equating that to thug-like language, and so there were like black Muslims taking offense to that, saying, "Why are you saying like black language is thug language?" And so they were kind of saying he's being racist as well in this.
Yeah, dunking, guys. That sort of came out of like basketball, where you could just do the easy layup. Instead, you like dunk on the person right in his face, and everyone loves it. And so they started applying that to other things. Oh, you dunked on him, and stuff like that. But he's talking about that as a thug-like language, and insulting people in the process has nothing to do with da'wah. This type of content needs to be called out and boycotted unless this behavior starts to change. While some non-Muslims can be vile and disrespectful, and sometimes a level of firms needs to be displayed, the whole point of being a Muslim is to have superior manners. If the whole point of being a Muslim is to have superior manners, that is the biggest fail of all time.
Yeah.
And then we have if you start
a Muslim.
And then if you start acting like them, you're only doing harm to this religion. Well, it's pretty standard now, dude. Pretty standard. Okay, now so he tweeted that a couple days ago, but now he's made his entire video, so let's check out the video.
So one of the first comments, like the most, I guess, liked or whatever, or something like that, it was like the top comment was like, you're talking about Libiano and Cora, and they're both smarter than you and better than you, and you're just jealous. And he goes, what does that have to do with bad manners? He's like, what's that gonna do with my post? So it's like, he doesn't say the name, but when he responds to that comment, he's like, yeah, that's who I'm talking about. But what is that gonna do with my, my point? Like, let's say they're smarter than me. Let's say they're better than me, more popular than me. What does that say about their manners? Like, does it mean that because you're more popular, because you're smarter, does that mean you can like get away with like murder or something? So, yeah.
Oh, hey, check this out, guys. We'll probably want to react to this. Where'd it go, man?
Where'd it go?
Avery, look, check this out. So Avery says, I just destroyed Ali Dawah in person. Video just dropped. Oh man, poor Ali Dawah. He got crushed last year and apparently got crushed again. Oh yeah, we might need to, we will definitely need to review that, because that is always awesome. Watching One of the heroes of Christian apologetics interacting with one of the legends of Dawah, Ali Dawah. So we definitely going to review that. That'll be fun. Those are fun times, man. That'll be fun time. Yo, I brought my shape suit. Yeah, I got an even better shape suit now. So now you'll definitely understand this. All right, so that's going to be fun. Okay, so guys, yep, we have some fun stuff we'll have some fun stuff to react to over the next few days because it's all kicking off over there in the UK. All right, but right now we have Muslim Lantern discussing the woman who shall not be named.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That's what's weird. That's that Harry Potter crap, right? Where they wouldn't say Voldemort's name, so instead they'd say... Now, is that actually correct, or is that just what people say? It's like,
I don't know.
They wouldn't say his name or something like that. Okay. Anyway,
Probably.
I got that. Hey, Dawah guy, you stole that from Harry Potter, man. Now you treat everyone like Voldemort. What the heck is wrong with you guys, man? Oh, it was so cool in Harry Potter. Let's make it a rule of Dawah. We won't mention anyone's names if we're mad at them. Okay, here we go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. You're probably going to be watching this video during Eid sometime. If you are, then Eid Mubarak to you. We have a very...
Hey, he actually seems much friendlier than a lot of the Dawah guys. He's like smiling and stuff, and that's weird.
Not too familiar with, other than that one discussion you had with Avery. I don't really watch his content at all but yeah, I think you're right about. I think you got him with like the Sajid kind of thing. He wants his own to be seen in a certain kind of light, so he gets upset when Muslims don't act in a certain way.
An important topic, an issue to talk about today, and we need to address this before this starts to spread even more and get worse and worse. But before I do, I'm gonna make this extremely clear. Anybody who's planning on commenting individuals' names, people's names, this person, that person, your comment will be deleted.
Look, he's got it on the screen. No name dropping or else. He put it on the screen right when we said, yes, it's from Harry Potter.
Wow.
Oh, man. Oh, that's funny.
And if you do it repeatedly, you may be blocked. As you guys know, I do sometimes videos like this where I see like there's a big issue, there's an important issue that is happening. Like a video I made like 2 years ago about the Dawah drama that was going on and the issues that was going on. And I didn't mention people's name because the purpose is not to specifically, correct specific individuals or attack specific individuals. It's about the issue itself. It's about addressing the issue at hand. It's about advising the general public, people understanding, becoming aware of the issue that is taking place. And the individuals, if anybody is doing that wrong thing that I'm about to talk about, they would know. They would know. I don't need to mention a person by name. They would know. And I guarantee you, when I'm talking about this issue, a lot of people will start having these names pop up in their mind. And I would say you are a part of the problem because you are following people who are doing these issues and you're not correcting them.
Hey, that's kind of funny. If I start saying something critical of someone, I don't name any names, but you're like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. That means you follow the person and you know that person's doing that stuff. So you're part of the problem. Okay, that's actually kind of a fair point.
You're not correcting them. You're not advising them. You're not correcting them. In fact, as we will see, some people are even justifying these issues that are happening. So the point of this video is not the names. The point is to address the topic, address the idea for Muslims to become aware, to advise the individuals who are doing this in general, and to advise the Muslims that are supporting them, justifying what they do, and thinking that this is okay. And at the same time, clarifying to the non-Muslims that if there's a non-Muslim who thinks that this is what Islam teaches, no, this is not what Islam teaches. We need to clarify this idea to the individuals. And
yeah, he's trying to reach us. We're part of his target audience here.
Yeah, we're supposed to be looking at this going, oh, we thought this is what Islam teaches. That doesn't deal with the issue, guy. You can come along and have the best manners in the world. You are permanent. You are never going to become the popular Dawah guy in Islam. You're just not. You have to be thumping your chest. Yeah, you've been humiliated. You've been humiliated. And the new generation, they've all seen that's what works. That's what gets you a following in Islam. So they're just doing what they know works. So the real question would be, this has nothing to do with Islam. If Islam's not about the chest thumping and me strong than you, if that's not what Islam is about, why is that what always becomes popular And when you have good manners, no one cares what you're saying. Why? Explain that. We would love to hear that.
The people, to the non-Muslims. This is our responsibility. I'm not going to make 100 videos talking about this. I'm not going to be, making videos about individuals. This is a video I'm going to leave for people to ponder upon and learn and understand. That's it. That is my responsibility. And whether people listen or not, in the end, people will do what they want to do. But I think it's very crucial and important to address this issue. So what's...
So this point, Daily Wire doesn't say the names of mass shooters, etc., so as to not give them fame. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason for that. Sometimes when people go out and do a big shooting and they have a manifest, they want attention for whatever they're doing it for, and so it's okay, you're seeking attention for your manifesto or whatever. So we're not going to mention you because we don't want to help you get that attention and stuff. These guys are like, so and so's. Someone's doing something bad, and we won't name that person. And it kind of, it made sense, like when they wouldn't mention our names, but the reason there was they didn't want people looking us up and then checking our videos out and then leaving Islam. So they didn't want to give people a map on leaving Islam.
The issue is that we have today a lot of young du'at, right? Recently, we have a lot of young du'at. Brothers and even recently sisters, we're seeing them, right? Now, they're doing what they would call da'wah, okay? But the purpose of what they refer to as da'wah is to essentially defeat the other person, humiliate them, dunk on them. Make them...
Look at that. You say, hey, he just said dunk on them. But look, he's got on the screen, I won, bro. You suck.
Yeah.
You make me sick. Oh, no, that's not da'wah. That's Muhammad Hijab talking to fellow Muslims.
Actually, so the first part of this video, he's responding to kind of like the behavior, kind of that stuff, and then he's gonna go into the woman aspects later on. That's kind of, I think that's the second part.
Right. I won, bro. Yeah, you got baked.
Can edit all of this stuff. This is the purpose. Now, I'm not talking about once in a while, for example, holding someone accountable and pressing them on a point, being assertive with them. I'm not talking about that. You have to be balanced. At sometimes you have to be assertive. I'm not referring to that at all. I'm talking about the overwhelming majority of the content that is being done. The purpose behind it is I destroyed this person. I completely annihilated this person. I finished this person. This idea, right? Is like when you have 90% of the content about this idea, about this is the purpose. And then in the discussion, when the discussion takes place, you see people using thug-like language. What do I mean by that? Like F slurs, S slurs, insulting people, referring to their body parts, referring to humiliating insults about them and things that they do and stuff like that. I've seen some people like go to extreme extents with insults. And I've seen some people like inappropriately addressing women about like things which are, intimate in nature. And they're talking about them, they're making jokes about it.
You don't say. All is part of da'wah.
So he clarified what he meant by thug language because he was getting,
baked.
He was getting questioned on that, whether that was a racial kind of thing or whatever. What language he was talking about specifically, but he specified he's talking about using like F words and things like that, which we just heard Corey use a bunch of. So he's talking about that type of language.
Look at this. Is he talking about He's not saying what he's talking about. Is he talking about the Ortho Bros?
That's funny.
Yeah, you got paid. Debate my true religion.
How is this da'wah? Like, how is this da'wah? Someone explain this to me. Like, how is this Islamic behavior? So I'm not talking about once in a while, because nobody is perfect. Once in a while, making a mistake here and there, saying something here. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to someone claiming that I'm doing da'wah, right? Representing Islam. And then, like, the entire purpose is just to, humiliate a person, make them
dunk on them, bake them. Come on, you can say it, man.
Look bad, do this, do that. No. Let alone now, the sisters, there's a lot more issues to talk about, like sisters inappropriately laughing, addressing men in a shameless manner, stuff like this. Like, there's a huge issue to talk about. Yeah. And is it even permissible for sisters or women to be doing da'wah in this way, or to be doing da'wah, to be in the forefront of the dua and to engage and give da'wah and stuff? Is that permissible? I'll talk about that in the end of the video. So we need to understand we're representing this religion, representing the ummah as a whole. We're not just representing ourselves. And we need to keep that in mind. We need to understand this idea. And the people watching us, as Muslims and as non-Muslims, And there's people who just look for any reason and excuse to essentially, say, look, Muslims are bad. Even if they don't. As a ummah, as a Muslim ummah, as dua, we need to uphold the highest levels of mannerisms.
Where have you been the past 20 years?
1400. Where have you been the past 14 years?
Right.
Yeah, this is because this is what you find in Islam. You do have these, yes, in Muslims. I mean, you do have this in the Muslim. Yes, have the best manners, And look, what do you mean? You're going out and slaughtering people and taking their wives and taking them back to the tent and banging them and turning people into sex slaves and beating the crap out of them. Oh, yes, we got the best manners.
Oh yeah. But we don't eat pork.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you can do all the stuff that Muhammad did, I'm going to bang that little child bride. Yes, and remember, if you bang your child bride and then you divorce her, then before she marries the next guy who wants to marry the prepubescent girl, then she has to wait 3 months. And then they're talking about the best of manners. And it's like, well, guess what? It sounds like in Islam, what you do is you just have the worst behavior and just rename it the best manners. Okay, well, if Muhammad could do that, why can't Korah do that? Why can't Korah said, yeah, talking to people like this, that's what we're just calling that the best manners now because that's Islamic manners. Where are you getting this, dude? Can't have it both ways.
Yeah, it's like some of the ortho bros, when you press them on this about swearing and give me the swear list in the Bible. Which swears am I not allowed to say? Maybe she can ask the same question. You take a chapter from the ortho bros book and ask, well, where does the Quran or the Sunnah, where does it forbid this specific word, which is in English, not in Arabic? So what it's like what's he gonna do?
Hey, little side note, because I was thinking, who's he talking about with, because, I'm not talking about what you do occasionally. I'm talking about in general. If 90% of what you're doing is this, and I'm like, who's he trying to defend here? But then when we're talking about early Islam, I'm like, oh, he means if he says you can't ever do this, then you're throwing Muhammad under the bus because he said
Abu Bakr as well.
Yeah, Abu Bakr. So Abu Bakr said to one of the polytheists who believed in Allah sounds like Allah, but it's the female deity. The polytheist believed in a lot, and Abu Bakr said, why don't you go suck a lot's clitoris? So if you just said, no, you can't ever have bad manners or talk in this way, then he would have thrown Abu Bakr under the bus. Or Muhammad saying, don't brag about your lineage. He says, if someone brags about his lineage, tell him to go bite his father's penis. And so it's okay, Muhammad himself, you can't. So he said, okay, it's okay because it's once in a while. It's once in a while they talk like this. Just don't make it regular. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you. But I have to say, he's got a point there because you have people who will use. Matter of fact, okay, he's smart. He's being smart right now. When you say, hey, you can't talk like that in Islam, that's the justification. And what they'll do is they'll say, oh, see, Muhammad did that and Abu Bakr did that. Therefore what? Therefore, we can do it all we want. Well, no, because they weren't doing that all the time as far as we know. And so can you be doing it all? You need to be able to defend, is this how you just respond to people in general? You know who else like Sam Shamoun's like that, right? Like every person who says one word of questioning anything he says, he starts talking about the mother being a whore, your mother's a whore, and blah 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 blah. And he's like, oh yeah, well you got the the whore of Babylon and stuff like that in the Bible. People worked. This sort of language was in very specific cases. It wasn't generally how you communicate with anyone, but it has the same mentality. Here, I can defend it in this one instance. Therefore, it's okay to do constantly all the time. Yeah. And so he's preempting that. Okay, that's smart.
Yeah,
that's
so
smart.
I've seen Muhammad Hijab use that hadith, and I've seen Libiano, the one about Abu Bakr, and the language that he used there. So yeah, these guys, he's aware that this is the defense. And I'm sure that came up in part of the comments as well, as a way to defend. So, yeah.
This is how the people who were doing da'wah, which are the prophets and the messengers, were. This is the characteristic and behavior that we need to take. Otherwise, do not do da'wah. Do not do da'wah. Go do something else. If you have
who are you, the da'wah police, man? Who do you think you are, dude?
Issues with mannerisms, if you have issues
you wish you were Korah, dude.
Addressing people, this is not something for you. Nobody's asking you to be perfect, but this is not for you. You're going to do more harm than good by doing this. The even bigger issue is that we have individuals justifying this behavior. I think this is a bigger issue than the issue itself happening, is that you have Muslims say, oh, it's okay. No problem.
That's true.
They're this, they're that.
I just got a message that in Avery's discussion with Ali Dawah, I guess he was kind of like sitting down. He was working on a thumbnail, and the thumbnail was correcting Muslim letters. So I guess Ali Dawah was working on a video response as we speak.
Oh, this is going to be fun, man. This is going to be some fun stuff.
We're going to get a couple nights of this Dawah, a couple weeks probably.
Oh, this is going to be awesome stuff, man. Yeah. This is going to be awesome stuff.
Oh, man.
That's good to know. Good times.
Young, so it's okay. They can do it. They're Muslims, so we're going to defend them.
He's right though. When people will play the Korah clip where she's just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb, and they're saying some of the nastiest stuff there is, people go, "Oh, but she's young. Oh, but she's young."
That's what they do. Yeah.
And they're giving all sorts of conflicting things. Some are saying 22, some are saying 19, and this and that. And it's like, wait a minute, aren't you the guys that say a 6-year-old, a grown woman, or at least a 9-year-old's a grown woman, and she's 19 or 22 or whatever, and well, you know, she's young. She's young. She don't know any better.
Even if they're doing wrong. No. Prophet ﷺ said, "Insur akhaka zaliman aw madlum." Aid your brother if he's oppressor or he's oppressed. So the companion said, if he's oppressed, yes, we'll aid him. But if he's the oppressor, how? You stop him from his oppression. We stop the person from his oppression. We don't justify just because we like someone or someone's a Muslim or they're doing da'wah, is okay, yeah, whatever they do, we're just going to justify that behavior. And I mean, look, this behavior is not only in new young du'at, it's been existing in old du'at as well, and it's clear. It's also the same issue. It needs to be addressed, whether it's the new du'at or the old du'at or whatever. I'm talking about the issue itself, the problem. So people will justify this behavior. For example, you have some people saying, oh, they're very knowledgeable. And they're talking about, for example, the knowledge in Christianity, which I can see in the overwhelming majority of the people.
They're so knowledgeable. No, they went to a bunch of objections from basically Unitarians, and then
Tovia Singer.
Yeah, they go to Tovia Singer, and so they looked at they learn all the criticisms and learn to attack with that stuff without really understanding it. It's like even when they learn anything, even when they learn like philosophical terminology, they're not actually like studying philosophy. It's just, what can I use to sound smart in a debate and so on. And it's yeah.
I remember that's what Central Dawah was criticized for, was he was just copying and pasting arguments from, like, you know, Jews for Judaism and, you know, this website and this website. And like you said, they just take from all these different places. I don't know if like anything original to Muslims that they say in terms of arguments against Christianity. Their stupid arguments are like, Jesus and Mary ate, so therefore they ate food, so therefore they can't be God. Like that's like the Quranic level of like
powerful
refutation. They ate food, so they can't be God. Yeah.
Powerful da'wah.
TikTok and this. It's about knowledge in Christianity. They research a few things, learn a few things. Islamically, is this what we consider knowledge? When Abdullah ibn Abbas was addressing the Muslims and saying to them, why are you going to ask the people of the book when we have the book of Allah? Shaykh al-Islam ibn al-Qayyim, he said, al-ilmu, the knowledge, قال الله, قال رسوله, قال الصحابة. The Allah said, the Messenger said, the Sahaba said. This is what we consider beneficial knowledge. And when you look at these people, early 20s or maybe younger or even the teens or whatever, and the people are saying are knowledgeable, it's because a lot of people who are watching themselves are not knowledgeable, they're ignorant. So they see anyone, they think this person is knowledgeable. True. Knowledge takes time.
He's right on the money there.
Yeah, that's actually, he's right about that, yeah.
She's talking really fast and she sounds confident. Therefore, she must be knowledgeable. Well, he's criticizing. No, it doesn't mean you're knowledgeable. Well, how do you think Muhammad was able to dupe people into following him, right? He sounded really confident. When he talked to people who actually knew what's in the previous scriptures, they thought he was an idiot. But he's talking to a bunch of pagan Arabs who don't know what's in the Torah and the Gospel, and he just sounded really confident. Oh, I'm in there. Oh, I'm in there. Trust me, I'm in there. I'm all over their scriptures. Yep. Oh, nope. Now we actually ran into some Jews. Nope, they're saying I'm not in there. They're lying. They're lying. Oh, yes, they must be lying because the prophet said so and he's so knowledgeable. Oh, my goodness.
And most importantly, wisdom takes time. When you're young, when you're hot-blooded, this and that, don't get in the forefront and start like...
You say hot-blooded?
Unless you've spent time...
Hot-blooded, check it and see. Got a fever of 103.
With the scholars, the people of knowledge, you've learned mannerisms. You learn mannerisms before you learn the knowledge. Imam Malik, he would talk about how his mother would teach him first. Tell him, go and learn manners before you learn the knowledge. So people are separating these two things. No, they're part of the religion. The Prophet ﷺ said, I was only sent to perfect manners.
Yes, I was sent to perfect your good character. Make
And as
sure
you
you
said,
have the best character when you're banging the sex slaves that you captured.
yeah, that's exactly it. So what Muhammad considered good character is what we consider to be reprehensible. So
He was sent as a mercy for mankind. So we cannot justify this behavior that the people are doing.
He was a mercy when he was banging his child bride.
It's completely unexcusable for these Muslims who are trying to justify this cursing, insulting, belittling others, this and that. Prophet ﷺ, he said, ليس المؤمن, the believer, بالطعان. He's not the ta'an, la'an al-fahish al-badi. He's not the one who curses others, insults them, attacks their honor, or...
A true believer does not taunt or curse or abuse or talk indecently. Oh, okay. So Muhammad and Abu Bakr weren't true believers because they were both pretty nasty. And wait, I mean, wasn't he like quick to curse his own companions even?
Yeah.
Huh.
And there are some there's some like hadith. I remember I was watching Brother Rashid did a show on this one time. Just every time Muhammad would like wake up one night, like, and he was like wake up and just start cursing like some tribe. Like he just like wakes up and start cursing. Like he must have had like a bad dream or I don't know what happened, but he just wakes up and starts cursing. So yeah, this is all he did.
Has a filthy language. This is not the believer. And the Prophet now is talking about the believer. Now, let alone a da'i, a caller to Islam, who is supposed to be on a higher standard than the average believer. We need to understand. You're inviting people to Islam. Look, people are looking at you thinking, oh, this is the representative of Islam and Muslims. Then you have people justifying this behavior. They say things like what? I'll tell you what they say. They say, look, we need to give them back the same energy.
They do say that. He is correct.
That's exactly what they say.
So why is Cora talking like this? Why is it touchy? Well, because people were mean, and so she's matching their energy. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
We need to give them back the same energy. Are we Muslims or not Muslims? We have our own manners. Manners that Allah and the Quran taught us. They have their own, like if you even call it manners, some of them. You can't justify this by saying we give them the same energy. Allah says in the Quran, ادفع بالتي هي أحسن السيئة. Repel that which is evil with that which is better.
What's best is screaming and cursing at everybody and mocking the 21 martyrs.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell us to do the same thing. Now, people say, oh, they insult Allah and the Messenger. Oh yeah, they do insult Allah and the Messenger. What does Allah tell you to do when you engage with people who insult Allah and the Messenger?
Kill them.
Yeah.
Depends on how powerful you are.
Yeah.
If you're very weak, that's one thing. If you're strong, then something else.
This is now what people are pretending that they're avoiding. They're saying, oh, we give them the same energy. No, is that what Allah told you? No, Allah told us in the Quran, in 2 verses. He says, if you hear those who are insulting, mocking Allah and the Messenger, whatever, do not sit with them. Do not sit with them. Leave their place. Allah tells us in 2 places. And in the other verse, He says, وَقَدْ نَزَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ, He revealed to you. If you hear the verses of Allah, do not sit with them. Allah repeatedly is telling you. So don't tell me you give them back the same energy. Allah told you, don't be engaging with these people. Problem is, for purposes of gaining followers or whatever, you'd have a lot of these young Muslims go and, talk to the Islamophobes and whatever. So they go to them and they say, don't insult Allah and the Messenger. You're going to them.
That's true. That's a good point. Like
yeah, that's a hard one to get around Islamically. That's a hard one to get around.
Yeah.
So
bringing Muslims come and watch you because you're a Muslim, so they go watch. It's like a football match. Who's going to score points? Oh, this person. And the debate ends. Nobody changes anything in most cases. Muslims follow the Muslim, Christians follow the Christian. In most cases, of course, there are some benefits that can come out in some debates if it's done the right way. This is not the discussion that we're having right now. But we're talking about the idea that you go to them yourself and then you complain that they insult Allah and the Messenger. And then you justify that and say, I'm going to insult them back because they're insulting Allah and the Messenger. That's not how it works. That's not what Allah told us in the Quran. So do not pick and choose verses. Allah told us in the Quran, do not insult the gods of those people who worship Allah because they would insult Allah.
Huh, you hear that?
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, this is interesting. So this is in response to the polytheists of Mecca. After Muslims were insulting their gods and goddesses for years, they didn't want to insult back because they believed in Allah. And eventually, it depends on kind of it depends on which commentator you go to. But eventually they said, well, we'll insult Allah in return. We're sick of this. We'll insult Allah in return. You go to some of the commentators, they say, we don't think they were actually going to directly insult Allah. We're thinking they would just start insulting Muhammad and his revelations, and therefore kind of indirectly insult Allah, because they wouldn't have done that. They believed in Allah. And so, but the idea here is, hey, if they're going to insult your religion back, then stop with the insults. We've brought this up for years.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had when Muhammad Hijab and these other guys would defend it, they'd go with like, well, Abu Bakr said, go suck Allah's clitoris. So you can obviously, so they act like, okay, there's no Quran verse there. The Quran can't mean this when it says this, because Abu Bakr used harsh language. I don't think they understand how this would be reconciled. This is when the polytheists were more powerful than you. So you're insulting them, and you can't stop them from responding by insulting your religion. Well, what happens later? When does Abu Bakr say those words? Where it was one messenger surrounded by Muslims. This guy's not going to start insulting Muhammad and Islam in return, or start making fun of Allah or something like that. He's surrounded by Muslims. So then the rules suddenly change. In other words, if you are powerful enough that people can't respond to your insults with insults, then you can do it. Then it's fine. But if you're in a position where you can't, if you insult them, you can't stop them from responding with insults because you're not more powerful than them, then stop with the insults. Okay, what situation are we in the United States and on YouTube and on TikTok? Are we in a situation where Muslims can insult us, can insult other people, but no one's in a position to insult back? Or are we in a position where if you insult other people's beliefs and so on, everyone can just instantly insult Muhammad and the Quran and Allah back?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? You're not supposed to be insulting. He's right. He's just wrong about acting like this is a blanket rule. But he is correct. This should, in theory, be applying in this situation. They just don't care. They just don't care. Hijab doesn't care. Ali Dawah, they don't care. The popular Dawah guys, they do not care that the Quran says this. I know, because I've been pointing this out for years. They just don't care about this. They like insulting too much.
Distribution. You're not supposed to be engaging with these people. You're not supposed to be going and talking to them and then behaving the same way that they do. There's a difference between us and them then. The issue is the people will justify this behavior. How they will justify this behavior? They will go to verses of the Quran where Allah, for example, say that the believers are harsh or firm with the disbelievers. Yeah, harsh and firm means assertive would need be. Who do we have as an example? Allah told us in the Quran, you have in the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ the best of examples. He's the example for us to look at.
Okay, so Muhammad's example was
behead people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first, if you're weaker than other people, then hey, peace and tolerance, peace and tolerance. As soon as you're more powerful than them, then you violently subjugate them and take their women and enslave people and so on. Good, smart. He gets it.
Was he cursing and insulting and slurring? He wasn't. So and the people who say this, they know the Prophet ﷺ wasn't like this, and they know that the default in the da'wah, you have to be showing the best mannerism. Allah says, وَلَا تُجَادِلُوا, do not argue with the people of the book except with that which is best. Now, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا, except those who transgressed. Look at the tafsir. This is referring to fighting in war, the people who are going to fight. So they transgress, you'll stop their transgression. It's not talking about cursing and insulting. Some people will go to the seerah and bring an example of Abu Bakr. Siddiq, he said this and did this. One time he said this about the goddess of the disbelievers, Allah.
He said, he won't even say it. Hey, you won't even repeat the words of Abu Bakr. He's ashamed, quit being such a weakling. Yeah, what he said, guys, he said, go suck Allah's clitoris. Now, notice, that's what Abu Bakr, Muhammad's closest companion and the first of the rightly guided caliphs and Muhammad's father-in-law, because he was Aisha's dad. That's how he talked. This would be the same as me. If I walked up to Muslims and say, hey, you talking about Allah? Why don't you go give him a BJ if you love him so much? They'd be, oh my God, that's the worst thing anyone's ever done. Oh, it's so great that we have manners that you guys don't have. Okay.
You see how
I would just be acting like Abu Bakr.
Yeah. You see how he's ashamed of his religion, though? And that's why we bring these things out to the Muslims, because he is even too shy to say what his own religion says. Right? Like, so he knows that there's something wrong with it. Like, because why isn't he saying it? Why is he ashamed? Or so yeah. So this is Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the stronger points on the other side. In terms, no, we're not into the woman in Dawah. We're just talking about insulting and stuff like that, like making insults and things like that. Not even male or female, just insulting in general. This is a strong point on the other side. You actually do have precedence for that. Now he's gonna say like this is like a one-off type of thing. It's like 90% of the time he doesn't do that, but I mean, still justification, right? I mean, so
Bring in an example where we're talking about in the midst of war between believers and disbelievers, and all the companions are being insulted and the prophet is being insulted in his life, that the believers are going to run away, and about a certain type of disbelievers, muharib, someone who's an enemy of Islam or fighting you in war, not an average disbeliever who can be a mu'ahad, someone you have a treaty with, or a dhimmi or whatever, or just a normal disbeliever. No, we're talking about in war, a muharib who you're going to fight against, who are insulting Allah and the Messenger. And it's from Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, it's not from the Prophet. Allah didn't tell us to take Abu Bakr as-Siddiq as your example. He told us to take Prophet Muhammad as our example.
Whoa! I mean, in the hadith, Muhammad said, follow his sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs. I don't think he ever actually said that. I think that was from someone later who wanted everyone to follow the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs. It would have been weird for Muhammad to say that. But look at what he just did. He said, "Oh, it was in a context of war, and that guy insulted Muhammad and Islam. That dude was actually trying to end the war." And what he said was, "Look, Muhammad, you're attacking your own people here. You're attacking your own tribe and your own city here. You're marching an army. You're marching an army against your own tribe here. There are two possibilities. Either you win and you slaughter your own tribe, and you go down in history as the guy who slaughtered his own tribe, or you lose, and all these guys are going to stop following you if you lose. So, dude, you lose either way. You're either the evil scumbag who slaughters his own people, or you lose, and you're the dope who attacked his own people and lost, and these guys aren't going to take you seriously anymore." That's what he says. Oh, yeah, come on. Abu Bakr could only take so much, man. That's why he said, "Why don't you go suck Allah's clitoris?" But that was the big insult. The guy trying to de-escalate and trying to say, "Muhammad, come on, let's stop the fighting right now." "No, how dare you say something like that? Go suck Allah's clitoris."
It's one example in the entire seerah. They will go and stick to that. Oh, look, there is this example void of all of this context. He did this, so I can do this. And it's not that I can do this as an exception one time in my life, like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq did. No, I'm going to do this every day, and I'm going to use a justification, one incident that happened with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq one time in his life.
This is an actual fair point, right? If you take something that Abu Bakr said and you say, therefore he said it, therefore I can act like this all the time, that's a problem. That's silly. That's silly. But that is the response, right? That is Muhammad Hijab's justification for acting like an idiot constantly. Well, look what Abu Bakr said.
Yeah, but like you said, that I don't know if he mentions this hadith, the one that you mentioned, the hadith about Muhammad, where he says to go and do whatever they're supposed to do to their father. But he says don't use a euphemism, like go and use the foul language that he used. So that one, I wonder what he would say the excuse for that, because that seems to be like an ongoing command. Like if someone is boastful about their lineage, maybe you could derive a principle from that, like in terms of like, okay, these guys aren't boasting about their lineage, but they're like, maybe you can. It's equal to something else that they're doing, so we're allowed to, get away with it.
Someone said, "Brother, we used to work together in the Pal Talk days. I've been trying to connect with you again. Remember al-Kitab?"
Al-Kitab. I know al-Kitab, what that means, but I don't know if it's a nickname or something.
Well, they're saying that was their name back on, or they're talking about someone else and asking if you remember that person.
I've been trying to. Okay, I'll look out for you in the comments, and maybe I'll see if we can reconnect somehow.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, look what we have here from Thaddeus. What about bite your father's penis from Muhammad? Oh, well, thank you very much, Mr. Helper. We've only brought that up 9 times.
Hey, you know what? He just got through a long stream where he probably heard a bunch of filthy language himself, so he's probably like, this might be a breath of fresh air for him, actually. the Dawah guys.
The Dawah guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, Thaddeus was live talking about going through clips of Sam Shamoon for hours. So yeah, after hours of watching clips of Sam Shamoon, yeah, Korah will be a breath of fresh air. Ah, finally, very calm and respectful language.
So it's a joke, honestly. And that's what I'm saying. It needs to be called out. And the people who justify this are a part of the problem. Okay, we all agree. A lot of these enemies of Islam curse and insult and like, they show the worst manners. All insults on the, you guys know. I don't need to mention names to you. Some baldies. And you guys know who I'm talking about.
We were just talking about that guy. That was great timing, man. That was great timing. Some baldies.
But it's funny, he's talking about good manners and calling people baldies. These baldies.
They have the filthiest of mouth. But that is their characteristic. Prophet said that's not the believer. It's not the characteristic of the believer. You cannot behave like them and use it as an excuse. Of course, a lot of the Islamophobes, I made a post on Twitter like addressing this and saying that this has been happening recently. And
that's one we read earlier, guys.
Islamophobes took this as an opportunity, right? Oh, look, he's right, this and that. Because obviously they have no real arguments against Islam. So now they're trying to clutch to anything.
We have no real argument against Islam? What planet do you live on, dude?
Oh, boy. This guy now he's in Dawah mode, so he's in La La Land. It's like it's weird how they can like make sense, and then once they start talking about like Dawah, like when he starts participating in it, it's like his brain just switches off.
Hey, Muslim Lantern. Since you don't think we have actual good arguments against Islam or serious arguments, why don't you join us live and explain the Islamic dilemma to us? We will not insult Muhammad in any way. We will just stick to the Islamic dilemma. And on top of that, I will not insult Muhammad for an entire week, not one word. It's the best deal you're going to get. You going to do it? Of course not, because you know you can't answer this stuff, dude.
But that doesn't matter, because Allah said that we are the best nation for 1 million. We enjoin the good and forbid the evil. And
we are the best of peoples ever raised up for mankind.
Oh man!
Hey,
you know, there's even like there's a variant like reading, not in like the not in like manuscripts or in the text, but like amongst the Shia tradition, and they read the word differently. That it's the imams that are the best. It's the best of imam, like the best imams, and so they actually make the point. They're like, you think these are the best of the nations, like these guys, and they point to like people like Abu Bakr and stuff like that. They're like, you think these guys are the best of nations? Like, no, it doesn't say the best of nations. It says the best of imams, and yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. Like people, like even the Shia, they laugh at that point. That's like, no, that's not what the verse is saying. It's talking about us. It's talking about our imams.
Yeah, and I mean, and hey, that's all been refuted according to Muhammad Hijab, because you know you've got Muslims are the best of peoples ever raised up for mankind. Jews and Christians are the worst of creatures. 98.6, and what Muhammad Hijab say? No, look, you're pathetic, you're weak, micro pee-pee. The Jews and Christians are so much better than us. Oh yeah, he even quoted Muhammad. Where he said, yes, Muhammad was right about you. He said there would come a time when his followers would be rubbish. That's what you are. You're trash. You're rubbish. He was saying all this stuff. It was classic meltdown.
Yeah, he abrogated the Quran right there. So he's.
What is this? Manners? Oh, like the manners you displayed, Abdul, in your live when you kept pretending not to see fearless truth who had been waiting first in line for hours? It sounds like Muslim Lantern.
Deen al-Nasiha, as the hadith says, the religion is given advice. And that we are the best nation because we advise one another. If someone is doing wrong, we'll say they're doing wrong. These the non-Muslims will see that, look, we call out that bad behavior that happens within our ranks. Now, when you look at them, they support each other. They push each other further. When they show this behavior, they justify it, make excuses for it. We cannot be like this.
Is that what Thaddeus just did? Was he making excuses for? Yeah.
Thaddeus just did like an 8-hour live stream exposing some terrible behavior. No, they just stick together.
Yeah.
We call up.
So what he's saying, it's true for some Muslims, but most Muslims don't do this. That's why this is so surprising. That's why we call this Dawah Wars, because it's not Dawah Wars has become the norm, but it's like certain circles of Muslims that don't do it amongst their own. And I'm sure he wouldn't tell on his own. Like maybe he's friends with Daniel or something. That's why he didn't want to go. I don't know what his deal was with Daniel, but for whatever reason he didn't want to sign Jake's contract or whatever, his fatwa. So it's only certain Muslims who kind of police certain Muslims. It's not like that's like every Muslim is like that.
Yeah, and again, it usually seems to be, oh, he's from this other group, so we'll call him out. Why? Because we don't like that group. Yeah. But if it's your guy from your group, you don't do it. Or this person's getting more attention than me and becoming more popular, therefore I'll go after this person. So
it's interesting that's what came to most of the Muslims' mind immediately when he did that X post as well. That was like the first thought in a lot of, well, at least in the comments, that was a predominant comment, and the thought was that he's doing this because he's jealous. And that's even what Jake is basically kind of insinuating. He's like, you're not doing this for principle, because if you were principle based, then you would condemn Daniel. So yeah, that is kind of what the Muslims are thinking as well, that he's not doing this for the right reasons. He's doing it because, they're getting more popular than him or whatever. Maybe they sound more intelligent than him. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But he's, according, at least the Muslims, they're accusing him of that. So who knows?
This behavior, clearly, we say this is wrong. And I want to make something very, 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 very clear. It's very important. I want to make it clear. Don't get me wrong. I'm more than happy that a lot of youngsters are, trying to get involved in the da'wah, invite people to Islam. Wallahi, I'm happy for it. And this is the future that we need. We need people who will carry the torch. We need new Muslims who are engaged in da'wah, but in the right way, in the right manner. As Allah says, "Qul hadihi sabili." Say, "Oh Prophet, say this is my way. I call to Allah." The way of the messenger is the way we need to carry. This is the next generation. We need to advise them. When I started doing da'wah, I made a mistake here and there. The senior brothers would give me advice. I would listen to them. It's important.
Give a copyright strike to this person. No, give a copyright strike to this person.
Yeah. So these young TikTok da'wah girls, who are they looking to for advice on these issues? Malik.
Oh wow! Yeah. They're doomed just for that. I mean, that's
too late. Yeah. Who are they supposed to go to? Muslim land? Oh, they're supposed to go to the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. Not happening. Not happening.
It's needed. It's very, very important. So what's the dangers of this trend? So just I can finalize this and get to the last point. What is the dangers of this trend? The first thing is that it is changing the perception of what da'wah is in the minds of the people. People now, they don't understand that da'wah means an invitation where you call to the way of your Lord in good mannerisms and good speech. The purpose is not to prove yourself right. The purpose is not to debunk the other and humiliate him and make him look like an idiot. It's to call to the people to Allah, not to ourselves being winners.
It's too late, dude. The word has changed.
Yeah, I don't think da'wah ever meant that. Nope. I don't think it ever meant that to anybody, know? It's like, it always meant... Yeah, like, I mean, maybe it didn't always mean debate, but it always had this, this negative connotation to it. Like we always say, dawah is deception. There's nothing honest about it. There's nothing. Yeah,
dawah is lying about Islam, lying about Christianity, lying about everything, thumping your chest, running your mouth. That's what dawah is now. You can't fix that, dude. There's no going back. There's no going back. The word dawah has such a negative connotation now. You just, if you want whatever you think it's supposed to be, you need a new word. You just need a new word.
Yeah,
because this ain't.
You need a new word.
Yep.
So changing the perception of what da'wah is supposed to be to a competition, like we are in the Coliseum, and this guy's winning. Let's cheer for that person. No. So that's the biggest danger that you can see. Is changing the perception of da'wah. And obviously also, the second thing is pushing people away from Islam, some non-Muslims, and ruining the image of our image, for how we should behave, that we need to present these superior morals, that we need to stick to our own morals.
Did he say superior morals? Are you joking, dude? You, in theory, could have superior morals to other people, but not your religion? No.
Yeah.
Our religion teaches. And the last thing is that the issue is the influencing the other youth. Because some youth are doing it now, is influencing the other youth to do the exact same thing.
Now that's what happened. Now that I've seen that happens a lot, especially on TikTok. That happens a lot. They see they see this is how this guy does it, so I'm going to do
Yep.
it the same way. I'm going to use the same language he uses. I'm going to use the same kind of dominance tactics and whatever, like, you know, the whole kind of thumping your chest and kind of making the person feel like an idiot, and like, you know, you humiliate them. I've seen that amongst the young Muslims, and yeah, that's he's right about that. That they do you know, they are influenced in that way, very easily influenced in that way.
Yeah, and dude, you already lost this one, man. You already lost this one. I mean, imagine you're like a 15-year-old Muslim girl on TikTok, and you're interested in Dawah. You see what works. You see what gets you see what gets you a following. You see what gets attention. What are you going to do? Something that'll get you 4 followers, or something that'll get you 40,000? So he sees it. He sees it. There's just nothing he can do about it. Muslim Lantern sees it. He sees the problem. All these other guys that we watched earlier complaining about the issue, they see the problem. There's nothing any of them can do about it except make a video and complain, which does not stop them at all, not even slightly, because they just say, you're jealous. You're jealous. That's why you're complaining. You're jealous. You want all the attention for yourself. And when Korah's the one on the front lines taking on everyone, Hitachi is on the front lines taking on you. No one's listening to you anymore. Too late.
Go on these platforms and TikTok and this and that, and then go and they start cursing and insulting and this and that. I saw this person do it. Oh, if he's doing
This
it,
person.
he has a YouTube channel, then I must be able to do it too. It must be okay. So this trend needs to stop. It's a dangerous trend that needs to.
Dangerous trend.
It needs to stop. Need's got nothing to do with it here, sport. Need is not helping you. You're right. It would be very, very, very beneficial for Islam to stop it. It's not going to stop at all. At all.
Yeah.
It's only going to accelerate. And there is nothing you or your video or the Grand Mufti himself can do about it. This is TikTok time. This is TikTok. Time to rock.
We call that needs to be stopped. What do we need to do as Muslims? We need to call this out. Warn the people. If the people persist in their behavior, then we need to boycott them. We need to show clearly as Muslims, this is not in line with the teachings of Islam.
Is he saying boycott Korah and hijab and all these people?
So that's the call to action right there. That's what he wants to happen.
Boycott. Dawah wars. Dawah wars. Oh.
Now, he does have a pretty significant audience, and so this will be interesting to see how this actually plays out, because then there's a question of overlap, right? Like, who's watching him that watches them, and then which side are they going to take, right? That's the question. I feel like we're doing like the commentary for like a football game or something like that. We're like, but seriously, I'm actually curious because he does have some pull in the Dawah world. And
just look, because again, I've only seen a couple of clips of him over the years, but no, he has 633,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that's a big channel. And
it might be kind of like an illusional, like an illusion in a way, because he did say like he deletes comments and stuff like that if they do something he doesn't like. So maybe it looks like a bunch of people agree with him when he's like only like making like, you know, that could be the case too. I don't know, but I know he does have pull in the Dawah world, so I'm curious how this is going to play out.
It's not enough because it's basically him versus. It would be basically him versus everyone who's popular in Dawah on YouTube and TikTok. Because they all run like this.
Well, he would need his committee to get together. Now, this would be interesting if Uthman gets involved. Then there might be some kind of, that's his best bet, to get Uthman involved, because they are in the same global Dawah committee where they're following that old guy who copyright strikes people just like how he does. Maybe that's where he got it from. He got it from him. But so if he gets Uthman together, maybe they would get enough of the youth to start boycotting.
Uthman's too close to what he's condemning in all of this, though. Uthman is.
I'm thinking of the next part, which is about the woman in Dawah specifically.
Okay. Yeah, no. They'll be on the same page there. As far as the manners, Sheikh Uthman not exactly known for his manners. There, you're talking about the guy who faked a hate crime against himself. Look, they got me with the fake blood. Look at me. You'll never stop my powerful Dawah. And then his buddy sent his wife to him for marital counseling, and Sheikh Uthman banged her and then took her for himself. even though she was
Yeah.
married to both of them at the same time. Just takes whatever he wants. And then, of course, Sheikh Uthman is one of his other wives had to get a restraining order against him for choking her and smashing a bowl over her head and putting a gun to her head and doing all this stuff. And so, I mean, now maybe Muslim Leonard here will be like, yeah, but he's not like that all day. He's just like that sometimes. But yeah, I'm guessing he'd have a problem with some of Sheikh Uthman's antics as well. So I don't know how much this getting together and ironing this out is going to work for him. I think he's stuck. I predict what he's saying goes nowhere. Other Dawah guys who are just objecting, and what you're saying, if he's just going to object to women in Dawah, there he might have a lot of people. I still don't think they can stop them. The TikTok, and this is the huge reason, right? Because we've seen it over and over again with these young Muslim women and the reverts and so on TikTok, and they start, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell us what to do. Okay, well, guess what? They're setting the example for the new generation of young Muslims coming up. And what's the example? These guys over in Saudi Arabia can't tell us what to do. These guys with these accents can't tell us what to do. They don't call the shots. We're on TikTok. Look at my following. Look at my following. If you get enough following, the rules do not apply to you. That's what young people are learning. And I don't see how they can stop it, man. They're doomed. They're doomed by social media here. You're stuck, guys.
And like I said, someone might have, look, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I would, in my da'wah, make a mistake, not show the best behavior. I'm a human being. It happens. However, we're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the general rule. We're talking about the general rule. Nobody's perfect. Now, if someone is in most situations, he is not good in his behavior, he curses, he insults, then da'wah is not for you. I'm sorry to say, leave da'wah and go do something.
Bye-bye, Muhammad Hijab.
Yes. Da'wah's
not for you.
So you understand what we need to do, brothers and sisters. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about, and I know some people are not going to like what I'm about to say now. Okay? But I don't say
That's an
things
understatement.
for the sake of the people to be happy or not happy. What I already said, some people are not going to be happy with. But what I'm about to say is also, we'll have people that are not going to be happy listening to. But
your job's not to make people happy. Your job is to divide the ummah. Get to it.
Right.
I am not saying it for your sake. I'm saying it for the sake of Allah. And I will have people saying, I heard the scholar say it's okay. I heard that scholar say it's okay. What is the ruling behind women engaging in da'wah to begin with? Now, we're talking about engaging in da'wah. I do not mean sisters doing da'wah to other sisters. I do not mean sisters on WhatsApp group or sisters in Telegram. We need all of that, mashallah. Or sisters writing books that we can all benefit from. We're doing research. All of that is great, alhamdulillah. I am the biggest proponent of that. I'm talking about sisters doing this idea of tasaddur, where they are in the forefront of the da'wah, engaging with men and doing da'wah here and there and going on channels and making YouTube videos and lives.
But they wear niqab, so what's the problem?
What is the ruling behind that? It is not known that any female Sahaba would go out in the midst of non-maharim, of other Sahaba, and would start giving them da'wah and lecturing them and this and that. If I'm wrong, you're welcome to show me examples of Sahabiya women that would go out in the midst of other Sahaba men that are non-maharim, and they will stand and they will, on a podium or whatever, and they will start giving them lectures. Then
come on, man, you know that hadith where Aisha, she went over and stood in the midst of all those pagans and said, yeah, you guys got baked, yeah, what's up, yeah, baked, yeah, F you, yeah, what, ha ha ha. Come on, you know that happened.
Yeah, man. It's very authentic, very strong.
Reminders and this and that. Now, some people will say, what they will say here, but Aisha radiallahu anha, she was asked, Sahaba would come and ask Aisha radiallahu anha, they'll say this day and night. And when we go to them, which I'm going to do, show you the verses in the Quran that addresses the wives of the Prophet, they'll say, oh, this is just for the wives of the Prophet. But when it comes to this issue, Aisha radiallahu anha being asked, they'll say, oh, no, look, do we have this example? Okay, Aisha radiallahu anha was...
Oh, okay, so he's going to point out that there's a inconsistency in their appeal to Aisha. So there are some verses in the Quran that say, for example, of Muhammad's wife, like, you stay in the house, basically, just stay in the house. And so they're going to say, oh, that's just for his wives. But then Aisha, when she went out and she talked to like the male companions and stuff like that, oh, that's my example there. But he's like, so why isn't your example over here? Like, why is it only over? So I think, okay, so he's like kind of preempting some responses here, or he's seen some and he's kind of going to show some inconsistencies. All right, interesting.
The mother of the believers, or the other wives, they were the mother of the believers. So it's like your own mother. And they will call her our mother when they would talk to her. And who were those people going asking? Well, the Sahaba,
Our 6-year-old
the purest
mother.
hearts and the best of behaviors. I'm not talking about non-Muslims or random Joe Schmo, whatever. They were the best of Sahaba. And they would go ask the wives of the Prophet who were their believers, who nobody could marry after the Prophet ﷺ. And we understand their status. And because they know many things in the household of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that other people didn't know. So they would go and ask Aisha radiallahu anha. Now, we're saying, look, Aisha radiallahu anha, she was their mother. They were the Sahaba, the best of mannerisms and hearts. But not just that. Allah tells them in the Quran, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. If you ask them for something, ask them behind the barrier. The wives of the Prophet. That we're saying, these are people with the best of hearts. They were the mothers of the believers, but Allah is still saying, ask them behind the barrier. Allah says, ذَلِكُمْ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِمْ. That is more pure for your hearts and their hearts. Who are we talking about? The wives of the Prophet ﷺ, the best women in this ummah, and the Sahaba. And of course, the wives of the Prophet are the examples for the other sisters, for the Muslim sisters.
Wrong. Korah is the example for other Muslims. And Itachi.
It's like the Sahaba are examples and the Prophet is our example. The wives of the Prophet are examples for the women. Allah tells them in the Quran, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ, and remain in.
Yeah. Hijab. I'm saying it because it's right on the screen because I haven't read through all. He had one long post on X, but I see it. He's bringing up 33. So yeah, sounds like he is responding to Muslim Lantern here. Dawah wars.
You know what? I've noticed this is that Muslims, because I don't know, there's not a lot of Muslim channels that are doing what we do, where we kind of get all the views together and show like the actual Dawah wars, like here's what this side is saying, here's what this side is saying. I've noticed that Muslims are they're very attracted to these streams, and they actually like they catch up on like what this guy is saying and what this guy is saying based on these streams. So there's probably going to be lots of Muslims that are here, and they're going to be like educated on what this side is saying, what this side is saying. Because I've just noticed that that's a pattern that I've seen. I'm not saying they're in the chat or they're going to be, communicating with us, but sometimes afterwards you see in the comment section or whatever. So yeah, it's something I see a lot happening, like when we do Dawah wars. Yeah.
Most cases, if you need something to go out, if there's a need, this is what Allah Azza wa Jal commanded the wives of the Prophet. Da'wah is a job for men to do. Now, some people are going to hear this and they're like, no, like there are some, because the da'wah is a job of the messengers. Someone will be like, oh, but there are some scholars like Qurtubi or Ibn Hazm or this or that said that female can be a prophetess. People will go to any irregular opinion to justify what they're doing, essentially. Now, that is a regular opinion, and it's clearly, if you look at the evidences in the Quran and Sunnah, you would realize that this opinion has no bearing and is clearly contradicting. Why? First, Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ. وَمَا, we did not send before you, إِلَّا, except. So we didn't, so we have negation. An exception, it means exclusivity in the Arabic language. Except men. We did not send before you except men, we revealed to them. So first, Allah says that clearly in the Quran. Okay? Allah says this verse clearly in the Quran. But is that it? No, there's many other evidences. For example, I'm not going to go too long, but another example, Prophet ﷺ, he said that many of the men have reached perfection, meaning in mannerisms and good deeds and behaviors and whatever, referring to many prophets, of course, because there were so many prophets, hundreds of thousands. And only 4 women reached their perfection. And then the Prophet, of course, talked about Maryam, alayhi salam, and he talked about Asiyah, the wife of Fir'aun, and he talked about Aisha. Were they prophetesses? But the Prophet said only 4.
4, ever. 4.
Said. So he would have named a female prophet there, is what he's... Okay. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So if only 4 women ever were really, really good, obviously that would have been a perfect time to say, oh, and this woman who's a prophetess, but didn't.
There were women prophets, they would be mentioned. And the Prophet was speaking about women of the past and women of today. You see, when you look at the evidence, you realize that these like irregular opinions doesn't work with the evidence. Even just use common sense. Imagine a woman being a prophetess. The prophets of God, they were killed attacked, tortured, persecuted at times, right? Now imagine a woman. What is the first thought that comes to your mind now? What do you think that disbelievers will do to this prophetess?
Did you just hear what he said? Hey, imagine you capture a female prophetess in battle. What's the first thing you think of that would happen to her?
I still don't like. I was thinking like, is he thinking about this? Is he thinking about this? Is he thinking about this? Like what? Because it's not like clear to me what exactly. Like, is he talking about like tormenting her? But I'm like, you can do that to a man.
He's talking about you can't have a female prophetess because someone would if someone conquered them, they would grape her.
That's exactly that's the conclusion that I came to as well. That's the only thing you could be talking about.
That's his first thought about what you do to someone that you disagreed with, right? You say, she's a false prophet. Let's grab her. What are we going to do to her? Oh, look, he says it. He says it. This is the first thought that enters his mind. Watch.
The prophets of God, they were killed, attacked, tortured, persecuted at times, right? Now imagine a woman. What is the first thought that comes to your mind now? What do you think that
the first thought that comes to your mind, my Muslim followers, about what you do if you captured someone?
Who have the best manners.
Since you have the best manners, you know exactly what you do to a woman.
This prophetess. I don't need to go into you understand how common sense it is even. Why did Allah Azza wa Jalla reveal the hijab? The hijab is a barrier.
Wait. So okay, so he's saying that. So the logic there is that a prophet, he's not going to send a prophet who can get raped. That's kind of his logic. Yep. So, okay. I don't know. Has he responded to the? No.
To what? Has he responded to what? Because I guess our point, Muslim Lantern. Things can happen to a male prophet as well.
Yes.
In fact.
Yes. To your prophet.
Yeah.
Your namesake. His name is Muhammad Ali.
Your prophet got zooted out in the desert, man.
Yeah.
So don't tell it. Oh no, Allah would only send a male prophet because we know what would happen to a female prophet if she got surrounded by the men of Al-Zut. You know what they did to your prophet, man? They zooted him. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Point is, it can happen to a man too.
And it did, according to your sources.
It did.
Barrier that the woman makes between her and the other person. Now, the danger is when you have a niqabi woman and hijabi woman coming and saying, we're going to give da'wah. It gives wrong perception. They're more dangerous than a woman that is not covered, because a woman is not covered, you know that she's doing wrong. You will know, okay, like she's doing wrong, she's coming out in a way which is not the proper way, which a Muslim woman should be, and she's coming out. So people would know.
Did you catch that guy? So he's talking like Lily J or something like that, or some of the ones who aren't even wearing a hijab on like TikTok. He's saying, the niqabi, so someone like Cora or Atat, they're more dangerous because they won't be as obviously wrong as someone who doesn't even wear a hijab. So she says, you see a Lily J not even wearing a hijab. Any serious Muslim's going to be like, we're not listening to you. You don't represent us. You don't even dress appropriately. Whereas Cora comes along. You see, she's a niqabi. See, she takes Islam really, really seriously. And she's awesome in manners. And therefore, we can follow her example. Good point, man. Good point.
What was funny about that was Lily J did like a test one day where she like covered herself wearing the hijab. And then she was like, hold on a second. I'm getting all these comments from Muslims saying how beautiful I am in the hijab. I thought the whole purpose of this was so that you don't. So she kind of did the reverse Uno card on them. And she's like, so it doesn't matter if I wear it or not because you're just going to comment. That's all you're going to comment on.
Yep. You guys catch that? Because that was actually a pretty sick burn. So. She did a little test. She wore a hijab one day because she doesn't normally, but she puts on a hijab, and it was like, "Oh, you're so beautiful in a hijab. Oh, you wear it all the time, so you're so beautiful." And she's like, "I thought the point of wearing a hijab was so you guys don't talk about my looks all the time, huh?"
Yeah.
But now you talk about it. Now you do talk about it, so it doesn't matter what I do. So in other words, this thing around my head is meaningless because you're still going to comment on my looks no matter what I do. Therefore, I'll just go around in my yoga pants.
Yeah.
Because you're going to talk no matter what I do. And therefore, might as well get all you guys watching in my yoga pants.
Nobody will be confused. But when a niqabi or hijab, people can be confused. It gives the wrong perception, and other women that are practicing Islam or following the religion, they may start thinking, oh, that's okay, I should do this too. It can be more dangerous. The purpose behind the hijab is to make a barrier between you and the opposite gender. It is not for the woman to go and start engaging with men and doing da'wah to non-mahram men and this and that. It's not a necessity when we have a men fulfilling this role. Da'wah is a fard kifayah. It's a communal obligation. When we have the men fulfilling this obligation, it is not a necessity for the woman to come and fulfill that obligation. And some people will say a few things here. I'm going to talk about it. Like some will be like, oh, but non-Muslims, they see our women. I'm going to talk about this, right? But we have a communal obligation now that is
Better hurry up. Your video's almost over, man.
being fulfilled by the men. So we don't have the need for this. And you need to understand, for a woman, especially for a woman, it's for a man and for a woman, but especially for a woman, haya, shyness, is a part of your iman, is a part of your faith. And da'wah requires sometimes to get involved in sensitive topics, right? It requires sometimes a level of firmness with the person, sometimes a level of softness. These are not fitting for a character of a woman.
You hear this? He's talking about sensitive topics, right? So sensitive topics, and sometimes you need to be firm. Yeah, just imagine you got one of these TikTok Muslims, and we start saying, hey, why'd your prophet get zooted? What's up with the men about zoot? You want a woman talking about that stuff, man? You want a woman talking? Or what if you're talking, it's like, hey, why is your prophet always covered in semen? Care to explain that? Huh? Want to explain why your prophet's covered in semen? You want a TikTok Muslim having to answer that? Why's your prophet banging a 9-year-old girl? You want a woman to have to be talking about what's up with Muhammad taking all these women as sex slaves in the early Muslim community? What's up with that? What's going on there? Hey, what's up with Muhammad taking the wife of his own adopted son after causing the divorce by lusting after her? You want women da'is to have to talk about that? Is that what you want? Of course not. Let the men answer these things.
Says, فَلَا تَخْتَعْ بِالْقَوْلِ. Do not incline in your speech. The person who has a disease in the heart will incline towards you. Even the voice. You know, Allah in the Quran says in the verse of the hijab, وَلَا يَضْرِبْنَ بِأَرْجُلِهِنْ. Do not let them not hit with their shoes, make noise with their shoes, because then people will start to be attracted to them or think about them. Noise with
their shoes.
So it's even like footsteps now. It's not even like what they're wearing. It's like even your footsteps.
I hear the footsteps of a woman. I can't resist.
That's crazy. Oh man.
Shoes, let alone now talking and your voice and laughing and Allahu musta'an. Imagine, even in the acts of worship, when the women go and do pilgrimage, when they do labbaik Allahumma talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, the hadith would say they would lower their voices with it. We do it quietly. If the imam makes a mistake, the men would say subhanallah, would raise their voice. The woman would make a clap. She wouldn't even speak in the prayer to correct.
That's what the Grand Mufti said. I wonder if you got that point from him.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that the Grand Mufti said. Saudi Arabia. Okay, interesting.
Your Grand Mufti doesn't call the shots here, buddy. Nice try. Copying the response of the Grand Mufti, like that's going to work on TikTok. Come on.
Why is Allah making these rulings in the prayer? Wouldn't it make more sense that Allah say it's okay in the prayer, say Allahu Akbar? That is for Allah to say do this, rather than it's okay to go in a YouTube channel or whatever in front of everyone and start talking, chit-chatting with men and doing that. Which one is like, subhanAllah, people need to understand. This is common sense at this point. For a Muslim woman, always the more hidden the place for her, the best it is for her. Now, people may, look, I'm bringing you the Quran and Sunnah. You don't like what I say? I'm not saying it for your liking. I'm saying it for the sake of Allah. If you are a person who fears Allah, who believes in Allah and the Messenger, wants to submit what the Quran and Sunnah say, here's what it says. You know, in the prayer, the Prophet ﷺ would say the best rows for women are the ones in the back, and the worst are the ones in the front. Why? Because
women in the back.
Wow.
Women in the back.
Man.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
The woman is shown more. Prophet ﷺ said, the salatul mar'ati fi baytiha, that the prayer of a woman in her house or in her home is better than her prayer in her courtyard, because it's more hidden. And her prayer in a chamber is better than her prayer in her home. Like, if the more hidden, the better it is. You're defeating the purpose of the hijab. When you're going out, you're speaking to other people, hear your voice, see your face, or see your body, or this and that. Especially in this day and age where you sisters, you know, AI and what people can do with pictures and images and all of this stuff. And this is the last thing.
Now you got to worry about what people are going to do with AI?
Yeah, wow.
Huh.
It's like people will say, oh, but there's benefits behind this. It's benefits because the non-Muslims will see, look, our women are there, they're doing da'wah, they're doing this, they're doing that. Our religion is based on what Allah said and the Messenger said. It is not meant to please the standards of the disbelievers, of their feministic standards and please them. Oh, okay, they're okay. They'll never be pleased, as Allah told you, until you follow their religion. When we start presenting our...
Yeah, quit trying to please us when we will never be pleased until you leave Islam.
Sisters in the da'wah, this is what we're doing, right? Oh, they're saying that our sisters are not in the da'wah, so we start pushing them out. Start doing what they want us to do. Our religion is not based on ends justify the means. Our religion is based on what Allah and the Messenger commanded. Now, someone will say that this sheikh said this, that sheikh said that. Look, I brought you evidence from the Quran and Sunnah, and I'm giving this advice for the sake of Allah. Whoever takes it, may Allah Azza wa Jal...
You don't just have to worry about this sheikh or that sheikh. You got to worry about Muhammad Hijab, buddy, because he's about to put you in your place, sucker.
Them and increase them. Whoever will continue, like I said, some people will continue in doing what they're doing in the end. And I'll ask Allah Azza wa Jal to guide them all. I mean, there's nothing really that I can do except to bring evidence from the Quran and Sunnah and clarify to the people. Because I know there are sincere people, there are people who will sit down and listen and hear the evidence and be like, okay, this makes sense. There's people who will follow what they want to follow. In the end, the purpose, like I said, is to give the message. It's not a purpose to convince anyone. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for all of us. And I really hope, I sincerely hope that we have a new generation of young du'at are doing things the right way. Allah.
Never gonna happen, dude.
I really hope. This is the last few seconds. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I hope we're gonna get a young generation of da'is who do things the right way. Oh my goodness.
Nothing will make me happier. And I'm always worried if people
be prepared to be really miserable for the rest of your life. And we haven't seen it with you so much, but I mean, we saw Sajid's entire demeanor change over the years from kind of happy and upbeat to just like miserable because of what's going on in Dawah and the people representing Dawah nowadays.
I mean, new on the scene because you gotta watch and see what they do. But I really, really hope that we start having these new du'a, new Muslims do things the right way. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant us all guidance and sincerity. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Powerful. Welcome to Fantasy Land. Population 1. Well, I guess 2, because you got the Grand Mufti. Oh, boy. All right, guys. So the last thing we're going to look at, we're just going to check out Hijab's response to all of this, because he's the only one that matters. Women in Dawah should just use whiteboards. Take a couple super chats. He might. He might. I wonder what he would say about that. Can women do some TikTok Dawah if they only use whiteboards? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought women in their religion aren't allowed to speak without permission from their father or husband, and especially about the religion itself, or did I read it wrong? I'm not sure what you're referring to there. In my first super chat, auto-corrected to put Gia and not Jai. Yeah, we knew that.
Oh, yeah,
we're just messing with you. We weren't thinking. Yeah, I meant no disrespect, Jai. Love you, my brother in Christ. Hi, Pink Mike Winger. Oh, yeah. So you're trying to be nice, buddying up with Jai, and then insulting me. You've learned nothing from Muslim Lantern talking about manners. Did Malik leak about Muslim Lantern and the smashing performance he did?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He did, yeah.
I wonder if actually, because he's coming against really Malik here, so I wonder if it's going to cause some more
Malik to leak some more.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we know what needs to happen. Yep. Everyone needs to say, yeah, Malik, what are you going to do now? Muslim Lantern schooled you. He put you in your place. There's nothing you can do to respond to him. You will never be able to put him in his place. You have nothing on him. Oh, what fun times. He who must not be named. That's from Harry Dawah and the Philosopher's Stoner, right? Yeah. The Philosopher's Black Stone. Did you really go without making any Zut jokes while with Ryan? Yeah, I think I went the whole time. That's one of the low points of my life is failing to make a Zut joke. Just as the lefties have, the Dawas are eating their own, loving every second of it. Yeah, it's just getting started still. Tell me where Korah hurt you, Muslim Lantern. Show us on the doll. If Muhammad is a mercy, what does wrath look like?
Dude, that's what we're saying.
Absolutely.
They just redefine words. Like, so when you say best of manners, they don't mean what you think best of manners means.
Law is able to make people who multiply, but he has no partner, so he can't multiply. Law is able to make people who eat food, but he is solid, so he can't eat food. Conclusion, he is not omnipotent. That's a good point. So, seems Korah may be right about Allah not being omnipotent. I love the Harry Potter movies. I haven't read the books, but I want to. Did you guys hear about the TV Harry Potter series? People hate it. No, I'm not familiar with such things. I saw probably, I don't know, like half the movies or something like that with my family. Ali Dawah says women should do Dawah. Ali Dawah says women should do Dawah. He disagrees. That's good. I can prove sola. What's messed up is they want women doing Dawah because they want young women listening to them and converting, because as Muhammad Hijab said, the revert women take it best.
Yeah.
That's Muhammad Hijab. I can prove sola scriptura. The Quran calls Christians people of the book, not people of the church. Unrelated to this, I finally caught alive. That's good. Powerful point.
Yeah. So, I was just looking at Muhammad Hijab's his ex. I don't know if he's posted more since you've last seen, but he's got like 17 posts about this topic. So he doesn't know how to do threads either. Like, you know how like people do threads, they like it's all in the same continuous one. He didn't actually do that. He just did like one after another, thinking that's what a thread is. So this guy's losing it. He's losing it.
These are fun times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Dawah drama. It's like watching Springer in the 90s. Yes, it is, but more fun. Product idea for Ali Dawah. Whiteboards for Dawah women. Yeah, he should be marketing those. That's we have. David, invite Adam Seeker to these streams. We could. Let's see. DOC versus 20 or less Muslimas on the Dr. Dav show would be epic. Yes, that would be epic. And Allah, only amazing God said Allah begets Muhammad. Isn't it a great day to commit shirk? Is that what he said? Did our Muslim friends say that Allah begets Muhammad? That's interesting stuff. Good to know. Good to know. We're learning about Islam all the time. So Allah, he's not omnipotent. You could call him Father before the Quran. All kinds of good stuff. All kinds of good stuff. All right. So what do we have left? Just these. Let's check out from our good buddy Muhammad Hijab. He had one long post here.
Okay.
Let's see. We'll kind of speed read it because we've been going for a little while here. Kind of speed read this one. Thread. Okay, thread. The claim that Muslim women cannot engage publicly online contradicts clear prophetic precedent. And Sahih Bukhari 62:28.
What? They can't, engaging publicly online contradicts. How does that make any sense? There wasn't an internet in this.
You guys hearing this? The claim that Muslim women cannot be on TikTok talking to people contradicts prophetic precedent, because we know that Aisha herself, the mother of the believers, that even she used to go on TikTok. How could you not know this? Are you stupid? Wow. In Sahih Bukhari 66:28, a woman from Qatham publicly sought a fatwa from the Prophet during Hajj, blah, 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 asking if she could perform Hajj for her elderly father. He affirmed without reprimand, so therefore women can go on TikTok and show themselves all they want.
Wow, that's his reasoning?
That's powerful Dawah reasoning. Similar hint, blah, 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 interjected boldly in post-conquest Abaya gathering, questioning conditions and her husband's conduct, met with patient guidance. You see?
Wow.
Asma spoke as women's representative before companions, eloquently advocating their share in rewards. The Prophet praised her. Al-Kansa recited poetry publicly in his presence, encouraged with blah, blah, blah. Women questioned him directly on Eid in his teaching sessions, all without rebuke. So this is talking about like women questioning him and so on. These Sahih narrations establish that dignified, beneficial public speech by women for fatwa, advocacy, and education, blah, 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 is modeled in the Sunnah. So here's response to Muslim Lander. Regarding Quran 33:33 and the instruction to stay in your homes, most scholars hold that this verse was specific to the Prophet's wives. Even there, the Kirat of Waqar. Hey!
Oh, he's bringing up variant readings. Dang.
Almost thought
Muhammad, man, he was bringing gems.
almost thought he was bringing up whack ass for a second. From Kirna emphasizes being in a state of peace and dignity rather than strict confinement. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, found her own exceptions through public scholarly engagement and other roles. In our era, maslaha, public interest of female scholars, educators, and role models online is evident, guiding sisters, countering fitna with knowledge, and fostering community resilience. Denying this deprives the ummah of half its potential. We cannot complain about feminism while restricting conservative women, thereby pushing them toward it. So there.
Wow.
If we complain about feminism, but we restrict good Muslim women in their niqabs, then we're going to push them towards feminism. So just got to let it all hang out, ladies, according to Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, that logic is going to... he's not going to be consistent on that at all. That's crazy. Wow.
Those issuing blanket prohibitions on women online must reflect many lack formal ijaza or scholarly depth, and personal motivation such as competitiveness, cultural rigidity, or jealousy often eclipse textual balance. True fiqh prioritizes appropriate speech over erasure. Let prophetic sunnah guide us over unqualified opinions. Well, this is interesting.
The Grand Mufti of...
yeah, so we got the Grand Mufti, and then you've got Muslim Lantern, and he's quoting passage of the Quran after passage of the Quran. He's quoting the Hadith, and he's coming to the conclusion these women can't be giving dawah unless it's just a woman and it's in private, but definitely not what they're doing. Hijab, reading the same sources, concludes, nope, they absolutely can do this. And he is now Korah's biggest fanboy, apparently. Let's just see how they're responding. If that's true, then push your wife or daughters to give dawah and engage with non-mahram and non-Muslim men. Good point. You are using secondary human traditions to solve a problem the Quran never created. You don't need scholarly exceptions for women to speak. The Quran already explicitly vindicated a woman's right to publicly argue with the Prophet. Hey, that's good to know.
Huh.
There you have it right there. This woman, she argued with Muhammad. That means TikTok dawah. TikTok dawah. A-OK. I think what Muslim Lantern was saying was that Aisha was engaging with the Sahaba while modern-day female da'i engage with non-Muslim men who most don't come with an honest approach and are there to argue and debate. Yeah, it's definitely a different situation.
Yeah, that is what he was saying.
Even though I agree with your position, those are weak arguments, and you're a smart man, brother Muhammad Hijab. How is talking to the Prophet and asking for fatwa compared to debating and talking to strangers online? Yeah, so this is kind of weak. Oh, look, these women talk to Muhammad. They talk to their Prophet. So you see, all these TikTok dawah girls can be arguing with men online all day. Yep. All right. So, Hakikachu is spreading viewpoint against women's education. He needs to see this. Oh, yeah, Hakikachu. He has a problem with them even being educated. Hey, what is this mess right here? Hold up. What is this? We already know what side Issa's going to be on. Issa's going to be on the Muhammad Hijab side, because Muhammad Hijab is the new feminist of dawah. So we've got Muhammad Hijab, the feminist now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Hey, Issa, how many times did you wake up today and think, hey, you know what's weird? I'm going to be on Muhammad Hijab's side today.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, hijab saying, yes, women can do whatever they want. There are no rules. They can do whatever they want. How dare you stop them? You're just jealous. You're a weakling. And here comes Issa. Wow. Good point, Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, that is wild. You know, a clock can be right twice a day. A broken clock can be right.
I never thought I'd see Issa agreeing with Muhammad Hijab. Hey, let me see if I can find this picture someone just sent. Oh, where did it go? Where'd the picture go? Did it go into downloads? Hang on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Where'd it go, man? Oh, here it is. Check this out. Look at this. Look, that's what happened. Guys, that's what we heard about earlier. So apparently, apparently, God Logic, haven't seen it yet, but apparently God Logic rolled up on Ali Dawah, and Ali Dawah is working on his powerful thumbnail because he saw drama, and they know Ali Dawah loves some drama.
Man, talk about priorities, right? Like God Logic rolls up. He goes to the UK once a year, and Ali Dawah loves that because he gets to promote his plastic, mat and stuff like that.
Yep.
But his
Made in
priority
China,
is
made in China.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I wonder what Muslim Lynn would have to say about that. But he's like, this is his priority. He's like, no, I gotta get this video out because I'm gonna destroy Muslim Lantern. Versus like, well, I don't know. Maybe he did have a debate with God Logic first. Maybe he did, but priorities, man, priorities.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though, isn't it? Look. Hey, Ali Dawah, I hope you fix this before you post your video. But you even got a typo, man. It should be can women give dawah, not can woman give dawah. Right? Women. You got that, Ali Dawah? Trying to help you, man. Trying to help you not sound like a complete dope. Hey, how you doing, Issa?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All right. Well, you know who's not doing great? Mohammed Hijab.
He's got all his followers against him. Even when they agree with them, they think he's stupid. They're like, we agree with you, but you're using really dumb reasoning.
Yeah, that was funny. Hey, you're right, but man, your arguments suck. That's what they just said. All right, we have a couple more posts from Mohammed Hijab. Let's see. Question for Neo-Salafis. Considering the Hayat Kibar al-Ulama Council of Senior...
Wait a minute now. I remember that Sneeko had these guys all in a podcast when, it was Muhammad Hijab was there and Muslim Lantern was there and Ali Dawah was there. And Muslim Lantern, I do remember actually seeing him more than once now. Yeah, that's right. I remember this now. He actually was correcting Muhammad Hijab on a number of facts. He was like, no, it's this scholar. No, it's this scholar. No, it's the... So he's trying to make it sound like this guy is uneducated in Islam and he's like a neo-Salafi and, Muhammad Hijab knows way more than him. I got to go back to those clips now because that guy was like schooling Muhammad Hijab on just like, it seems to be just more like facts, like factual points.
Shameful. Okay, yeah. So Hijab is asking the neo-Salafis here, and he's simply pointing out that, hey, if you go back a decade, all these scholars were saying that women, that it's haram for women to drive. It's haram. Women can't drive. All of a sudden, after 2017, they changed their position and said women can drive. And he says, do you think they shifted because they suddenly believed it was the truth via new ijtihad or primarily for political reasons? So I guess he's saying, hey, if a council of Muslim scholars say women can't do da'wah, well, these guys changed their opinions on what women can do. So why would you even take them seriously? This is Mohammed Hijab saying, don't take a council of senior Muslim scholars seriously because they're just going to change their positions when it's politically convenient. Oh, good to know. So I guess we also shouldn't take the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia seriously. He's just going to change. And what's that got to do with you? These matters are way above you. Have same shame and know your limits, O pretender to knowledge. Focus on following the guidance of the companions and abandon the way of the innovators. Ooh, Hijab's following the way of the innovators. Asks who? Jam Ibn Safwan fanboy who was dancing with females.
Yeah, so Muhammad Hijab was he was somewhere in Africa and he was dancing. Yeah, he was dancing.
Oh yeah, he was shaking it. Yeah. He was shaking it. Yeah. Oh yeah. And they were yelling, shake, 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 shake your booty. I answered a similar accusation back in 2017. It was strictly for political reasons, but Allah knows best. He's following that fat Shia Daniels footsteps. Mohammed Hijab's following the fat Shia Daniels footsteps. You sound like a liberal little girl who doesn't want to wear the hijab and accuses the scholars of misogyny.
Wow.
That's what happens when you follow Albani. You get confused. Why are you cavemen so scared of women having equal rights? So you're asking us about their motives like we know what's in their hearts?
Wow.
Neo-Salafis don't think that deeply. They will just accuse you of shirk and run away. Oh, these are Dawah wars, guys.
Man.
Most ulama are abetting evildoers, and you even have them treating Netanyahu and Trump as partners? Well, this is a rare win for you, love. Same goes for female FGM. It became haram only recently.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. These
Crazy
are good
stuff,
times.
man.
All right, we got, I think, one or two more posts from Hijab. Let's see how he's doing over here.
Let's see.
He's trying to create maximum fitna. Maximum fitna. That should be his nickname. Muhammad Maximum Fitna Hijab. All right, what do we have here? We should acknowledge the psychological reality. Many men opposing conservative Muslim female figures. No, I think these guys like their figures. Female figures aren't driven purely by jurisprudential conviction, but by discomfort that many women perform the role more effectively than us. He's saying they're jealous.
Wow.
He's saying Muslim Lantern and these other guys are just jealous that the women are doing it more effectively than the men. If we were medieval warriors, we wouldn't care, but many derive their self-concept from public engagement. We don't see Christians behaving this way with Candace Owens, and this insecurity is part of our failure. He's back to his, you little weaklings, you make me sick, I make me sick, we all make us all sick, and now we need the women to go out and do it for us because we're all so sick.
Whoa.
You know,
There's
an interesting argument that they said. The counter argument is about innovation. But these people are innovators, and all of us know this because going back to the Islamic dilemma, they believe that the Bible is corrupt. I'm sorry, we have to kind of a slight shift, but they believe that the Bible is corrupt, so they don't believe what the scholars say. They don't actually believe what the scholars say. They only believe the scholars when they say what they want them to say. So I think that this is a very bizarre situation. They're like, oh, we like misogyny. We want women to be put down because we're going to take scholars that say that. But in the same breath, they're going to ignore all the early scholars who supported and promoted the preservation of the Torah, the Zabur, and the Injil. So I don't know. I think these people are they're al-munafiqun. These are the hypocrites. So
darn right.
Say.
Bunch of hypocrites. She says, this insecurity is part of your deviant ancestral sentiments you've been trying to attach onto conservative Islam. Islam cannot be conservative or liberal. Islam is the neutralizer, the moderate middle way, the mercy. I strongly believe Muslim Lantern isn't affected at all by the success of others. If he cared so much about numbers, he would be monetizing his videos. Also, Muslim Lantern always disengages with those he believes are insincere when those interactions could get him the most views. So he's saying, hey, Hijab's basically saying Muslim Lantern is jealous. And someone's saying, I don't think Muslim Lantern is jealous. Guess what? I don't either. I don't think Muslim Lantern is saying this because he's jealous. I think he's saying it because he sees a problem for Islam. And he's right. He's absolutely correct. But there's nothing he can do about it. Go ahead, brother, if you want your wife and daughters on social media being women da'is debating some vile, insincere men, that's your choice. There's other ways to maintain and even elevate the influence of sister da'is in women's circles, not versus insincere men. Point. Because women use their ideas to defend men and children. Islam as a word will be a future adjective describing an embarrassing failure. That's my prophetic call, more probable than anything Muhammad said. Brother, there are some sensitive topics that women should not discuss publicly. Promoting women in Dawah should be reconsidered. What a weird comment. Men are afraid women will outperform them in Dawah. Are you serious? I disagree. Islam is not about being liberal or conservative. In fact, Islam contains bits of this and bits of that. Biggest difference Islam has from all these ideologies is that Islam is consistent. Oh, yeah, sure it is. We put our money where our mouth is. At least that's what the real guys do. And Muhammad, he put his mouth where the al-zud. You can disagree without assuming too much. He has his position, which is a legitimate position to take. No offense, but so what? Discomfort is good. It's all just... Yeah, I have to say... let's see. This may explain some critics, but it doesn't answer the actual issue. If the objection is jurisprudential, then address the jurisprudence. If the claim is that men are merely insecure, demonstrate that rather than psychologizing disagreement. Otherwise, this just becomes a way to dismiss criticism without engaging it. That is absolutely correct. If you want to say, hey, men complaining about the women da'is is just them being jealous, well, guess what? That's true in many cases. You can't dismiss the criticisms just based on the idea that some people are just jealous. Some people are just jealous.
Yeah.
So weak response, Hijab, weak response. He's got one more. Let's just see what it is. In my honest opinion, I think public speaking, debating, academia are fields women and men can compete on even footing on. No man should feel like less of a man if a woman is better than him at those things. In my view, manhood is directly connected to bravery primarily. Oh, that's good.
Heck?
I guess
This is such a weird.
I guess Muhammad Hijab's prophet didn't say that women are intellectually deficient. Huh. That's good to know. All right, we've got.
Sometimes I disagree. Men are mentally superior.
Yeah,
wow.
First, Ibrahim says, I disagree. Men are mentally superior to women. That's why Allah made them the wali and have made the leaders of families. And then another Ibrahim, I'm less inclined to listen to a message if it's coming from a woman. Hey guys, he's less inclined to listen to a message if it's coming from a woman. Other man probably feel the same way. Hey, Hijab, you clearly see men are massively smarter than women, so stop denying it. No feminine woman should be on stage debating men. It's not their place. Any man that allows his wife, daughter, sister to debate or public speaking is a cock.
Oh, wow.
Look,
he's
sitting there
watching.
Too.
He's sitting
Look
there.
at that Pakistan flag there.
You just like watching? You're like the watcher. That's why the watcher wants to get women in Dawah, so he can watch them. No, he likes guys. How would you define bravery? In all honesty, your opinion of certain rules doesn't have any relevance after Allah and His Messenger have ruled on that matter. Sounds like you're starting to embrace feminism, which is a good thing. However, you should feel that way about everything when it comes to gender roles. Women should have the same freedom that men have, not just at public speaking and debating, but also careers, leadership, etc. Good to know Hijab is becoming a devout feminist. Thank you, Hijab, for pointing this out instead of listening to estrogen-filled edgelords like Hakikachu. Hey, look at that. So you don't believe you need the opinion of two women for your own as they are deficient in mind? That not in the text? These are all very good points.
Wow.
Well, guys, these are the Dawah wars going on, man.
Man, I knew it was going to create a wave for the Dawah world and for Muslims and men in general, but I didn't know it was going to be that fast and that. This seems like it's like, in the Ali Dawah thing, which I was told he was working on that video before Avery came, and then when Avery came, he engaged with them. So just to correct that, but this is like shaking them up in a way that. I mean, like, again, I thought it was coming, but just not this fast and not this strong. And this is like going to really blow up, really blow up.
And just think it's one of these situations where, come on, these girls aren't going to back down, and you have tons of people cheering for them. Yep. And so they're going to keep getting more and more popular. And the more popular they get, the more the Muslim Lantern guys and the Saudi guys, and the more enraged they're going to be, and the more they're going to totally crash out. So we have massive meltdown incoming in 5, 4.
I should say, I should say that they're going to get more desperate in their attempts to expose these women, and let's just say that they might do some things that we've seen before from Muslims.
I get it. No, guys, did you just catch that?
Did you
just catch that? Everyone, you just catch that? So the women aren't going to back down from this, right? Yeah. They're popular on TikTok. They're just going to keep saying, you're jealous, you're jealous, you're jealous. That's going to enrage the guys even more because they desperately want to maintain control, and they definitely don't want these women setting the example for the young generation, because then they know it's totally over, right? Yeah. Now you got a couple, right? You got a couple here and there doing Dawah, and telling the guy, we don't have to listen to you. You don't what? I don't have to listen to some guy in Saudi Arabia. No, I can do what I want. I don't have to wear a hijab. They're saying that, right? But now you got the young generation of just regular young Muslim girls and stuff, and they're watching this and they're seeing how to get into. So these guys they cannot let this happen. They have to go to war over this. Jai's pointing out that we've seen how sometimes they go to war. They'll find pictures you've been sharing with guys and the DMs and stuff like that, and they'll go all out. And
I'm telling you, I really believe that they're going to try to make examples out of them.
Yep, I agree.
Because now it's not just, Muslim Lantern versus Korah and Itachi or whatever. Now it's Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawah, and Uthman's probably going to get involved, and it's going to create a big thing. And someone is going to want to put an end to this. And someone's
going to want to go nuclear.
Yeah, and we know that they have the capabilities of doing that. And
so
we don't wish for that. We're just predicting that that's the path Muslims are going to go down, because they do have the best of manners, so they say. So we're going to see those manners.
And that'll happen on both sides, because the Dawah guys who complain about the women, hey, what are you doing here? Well, we all know these guys are doing horrible, evil stuff. Malik showed that this is standard. This is standard in the Dawah community. So, someone's going to snap at them. Well, look at what you did in Bosnia. Look at what you did on your Dawah trip on Bosnia. I have the receipts right here. And so this is gonna get ugly. This is gonna get real ugly.
Yep. It's gonna go nuclear.
Take these last couple of super chats here. We've got Reason Answer said, Ali says women should do Dawah or do Ali Dawah. Well, we know what he wants them to do. D Wood, would you be open to doing a live stream with Cyberpunk Dingo, ex-Muslim YouTuber, Harris Sultan, Goldie Gamori, or Mike Winger? 3 of the 4. 3 of the 4, yeah. You can predict which one I'm not willing to do with live stream with. How will women be able to use whiteboards in Dawah if women aren't supposed to be fully educated in many Muslim countries? That's a problem. If Daniel Hakikachu gets his way, women aren't going to be able to spell. So how are they going to use their whiteboards? Guys, do the math here.
Yeah.
For women to communicate with whiteboards, they have to have a basic education. So how's that going to work?
Yep. There's actually another problem too. How do these men don't want women touching them? So you would need. What are you going to do with OBGYNs?
Yep, exactly.
Like you're going to need to have women. You need to have
no. You just don't do that anymore. You just don't have that anymore, man.
Wow. Oh, that's
they didn't have them in the 7th century, man. They don't have them in Antarctica. If it's good enough for Antarctica, it's good enough for here.
Wow. That's what it's going to come down to. If you follow, how do you follow both Daniel and so where's Daniel going to fall on this one? Is he? Because he has had his wife come out on his channel and speak, but she doesn't like debate or anything like that. So I wonder how this is going to play out for him.
And she went to college too. They met at Harvard, so it's super weird.
Yeah.
Very much we're going to have to find out in future installments of Dawah Wars. Seeing the phrase, Aisha, may the Prophet be pleased with her, makes me want to barf. Who expected Mojab to be the Renaissance feminist man of Islam? He might endorse LGBT zut acceptance into Islam in the future. Yep. Looks like that's the direction he's heading in. So drugs okay, alcohol okay, women in Dawah okay. Hijab is just completely liberalizing and feminizing Islam. And we have, this is another prong of Mossad Malik's plan. Oh, yeah. I mean, this, again, there's still a fair chance that Malik is actually working for Mossad. And you see where it's going. Malik sat back there and looked, what can I do to further divide the Ummah? I know, I'll promote some ladies as the new da'is, knowing the reaction that's going to cause massive, massive fitna. Smart, Malik. It's a good move. Good move. Unless you're just an idiot. But if this is deliberate, then smart. Otherwise, you're just really stupid. Oh, boy. All right, guys. That's everything we wanted to cover.
This is definitely, like you said, installment number 1. There's definitely more to come.
There's going to be lots of Dawah Wars. All right. Any other thoughts on this, Jai?
Man. This, I as far as I can tell, what Muslim Lantern is saying is true to the Islamic sources in terms of the woman in Dawah. Not so much like the using insults and filthy language and stuff like that. I think that you can make a strong case that while it might not be like the norm, but it seems to be that that's kind of more acceptable than he's trying to make you think. But the woman in Dawah thing, as far as I can tell, and like I said, this isn't a topic that I've been studying or anything like that because it was never relevant to me. Like, why would I care, woman in Dawah? But now that it's happening, I'm starting to look into it, and as far as I can tell, that's the majority of scholars are ruling in his favor, in his position, and just goes to show you guys. I mean, look at the Bible. Look at the role of that woman, just the role of woman in the Bible, and just the amazing freedoms that you have in Christ. And you're not just stuck in a house and you can't talk, and your footsteps are going to create a fitna for people. Or like, this is just, so thank God for your freedom in Christ, and pray that Muslim women and Muslim men and all who don't know Jesus would repent and come and believe in him. So yeah, that's my kind of final thoughts for this installment, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot more to come, and it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, my fairy tale life says you should start the Dawah drama vids with previously on Dawah drama, and then do a small recap. Oh yeah, it should.
Yeah.
It could actually like have a little video recap, but I think I'd probably say previously on Dawah Wars, and then show little recaps.
Yeah.
That would actually be funny. And we have Thaddeus says, "What are you covering tomorrow?" That's Thaddeus wants to update me on all the Sam stuff that I that I don't pay attention to. So, all right. So, yeah, we're going to cover that tomorrow.
I just want to post the link for people as we're kind of about to head out here for the new video that Avery just put out, so we can kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking that out.
So post that in the chat. You guys can go check that out after this and check and enjoy it. We don't even know what's on there, but I guarantee it's going to be good.
All right, Issa, you came in pretty late, but what are your final thoughts on the latest Dawah wars over women?
So I think it's actually kind of complex in general. Like, even your kind of standard Sunni modality, like you have concepts like urf and maslaha, like public interest, these types of things that have become incorporated into Sunni theology. I would say modern Sunni Islam is comparable, and I always say this is comparable to Rabbinic Judaism. So you have these kind of interpretations, reinterpretations, and I feel the Salafi movement is sort of in opposition to this. So you would have competitions, definitely, like even within North America, where women will compete against men. You do have stuff like that exists, like with like you might have like a thing like Mist, where younger folks will debate each other and do like poetry competitions and stuff like that. So this stuff does exist. It is really interesting to see the Salafi movement, because again, I think there's a major hypocrisy. And I think it is fair to say this, that the Christian movement has a lot of boons that we don't see within the Islamic movements in general, especially in consideration of enlightenment. Like you see someone like Daniel Haqiqatjou, who's sort of antagonistic towards the Enlightenment and sees the Enlightenment as this really negative, bad thing. And sort of like a lot of the Christian movements have embraced this and have been like, yeah, we're cool with science. We're cool with all of these things. This has no conflict with our faith, right? And sort of there was an inverse that happened with the Islamic kind of perception. It's sort of like Islam sort of peaked really early. You're throughout Islamic history, you have like what I guess you would call the golden age, where people were into philosophy and, reason and these types of things, like the Ahl al-Ra'i, right? The people of reason. But what happened is there was this kind of counter movement. It was like, oh no, we have to stick to the tradition, like what you see with Imam al-Ghazali, who was actually a Sufi, funny enough, a very conservative Sufi. But and a lot of people, from that, and then you see like, from Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim, these kind of movements were like, no, we've got to keep to these sources. But there's a difficulty, because just being honest and transparent, these sources can contradict themselves, right? Like, for example, is the Quran perennialist or is the Quran exclusivist? This is a question you can ask, right? You could take Surah 260, you could take the Quran 262, and it says, Christians, Sabians, and Jews who believe in God and the last day are protected, right? But then you can go to a different kind of verse within like Surah Al-Tawbah, and you can see that there's a different kind of approach. So which approach do you take, right? Which approach are you taking? Are you going to take a more perennialist approach, or are you going to take this more kind of conservative approach, where it's like, no, like you saw in our debate, David, when we were debating Rain and Junior, I put it up on the screen. I said, look at what the Quran says. And he was like, no, Islam is exclusivist. It's like, it's only for Muslims. And I'm like, well, the Quran says this. What do you do with this? And he just like, what does the scholar say? Name one scholar. That's all. It's like he did this appeal to scholars. And I'm like, well, what do you do with these situations? And I think this is the problem with the Dawah drama that we're seeing. Which type of Islam? This is what I would argue. Islam is polylythic. There's many variants of Islam. Which variant of Islam are we going to look into, right? And this is the difficulty. This is a big difficulty that you are going to face. And I do definitely think about it like in the kind of internet forum. I think overall, besides the kind of Orthodox Brotherhood, it seems like the Christian movements seem to be more united. And it's interesting because the only da'is I really see out here primarily are Salafis, and they're extremely fragmented. And I think this showcases it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think Cora is she's a top tier debater. She is extremely intelligent. She is really eloquent. I don't think she really understands Christianity. That would be my particular opinion when I listen to her. I think she judges Christian theology based on her kind of Islamic theology. So I don't think that actually works in the debate. So like there's a kind of a disconnect there. But I think she's brilliant, and she's very young and brilliant and smart. But like, I don't see. And I think it's funny that these da'is are all terrified, and I'm like, she's a better apologist than you are. I'm sorry. Those are the facts. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think you lost a lot of us at that.
You lost me. And look at it. L take on Cora. Oh, saying she's brilliant. Let's just say we have a.
Well, I mean, I think she's very eloquent. Like I think she's understands.
Yeah, she's a good
her arguments.
Yeah,
orator.
She's good at rapid fire communication and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we think she's kind of dumb with some of this stuff she says, but it's kind of like Candace Owens, right? Candace Owens will be talking very, very quickly and not fumbling over her words or anything else, rapid fire. But you might be sitting there thinking, "Oh, what she's saying is stupid," right? So that's the kind of impression we get. But we're all rooting for Cora. So yeah, she talks fast. But yeah, so guys, yep, we have the emerging Dawah war. On one side, we have Muslim Lantern, the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia, tons of like traditional Muslim scholars, Sheikh Uthman, all these guys, they're all on the same side on that issue. And on the other side, we've got Malik, Muhammad Hijab, and Issa.
Funny.
That's what it is.
Funny.
It's a good time. The alliances have formed, ladies and gentlemen. The alliances have absolutely formed, and we'll be here. We'll be here to check it all out. What do we have here? Cora the Last Fire Brainwashed. I guess this is the last airbender. Dial back the brilliant same chick who says wine and vinegar are the same. Yeah, that. And then, of course, saying Allah's not omnipotent and things. So anyway. Well,
I want to.
You can't blame Issa. He's in love.
No, you're funny. Oh, I want to say one point about that.
Was it the footsteps? Is that what it was? Was it the footsteps?
Issa heard her footsteps and he fell in love. He will defend her.
The thing is, I think a lot of stuff she's not really well versed on. So
That's
I
true.
think she does chat GPT and Google things like that wine and vinegar thing. What was it? The Oyos or something? It was some word, oikos or something like that. I don't think she actually
yogurt.
understands. No, I forget what the word was in Greek. There's some word, oinos or something. There's some word in Greek that it's talking about the wine and the vinegar. And she brought it up, and I think she just Googled it or ChatGPT or AI'd it. And the thing is, she didn't have a mastery on it. But I mean, I think she was able to stay in the debate. That doesn't mean she understands all of these things. I'm not saying she has a mastery over the knowledge. I feel that Avery is much better at that. Like, Avery has really, you can tell that Avery has studied this stuff and he tries to understand everything he's talking about. So it's a different kind of level of engagement, I would say.
All right, everyone. You heard it here. Issa is in love. All right. All right, everyone. Catch y'all tomorrow.